Good morning, good morning. Hi everyone, welcome to this live show that is starting right now. I think some of you have already joined us. Just type a one, guys, type a GM or for good morning in the chat. If this is working, let us know live. Good morning. I think we can see some of the comments. Hi, good morning to you. Hi, WH, good morning as well. Arthur, OCBC, some of you are already typing in the name of the stocks that you want covered already, right? Food Empire for William. Andy asking about ST Engineering. Okay, see a lot of ones. Hi, Chi-Seng. Good to see you here as well. I think some of you are very familiar with this, right? Joining us every week. Thank you so much, Chi-Seng, for support. All right, Marcus. Hi, Juan. Good morning, Tom, as well. OCBC, way to go higher. Good morning, Josephine. All right, so UMS here. Good morning. Welcome, guys. Welcome. So this is working, right? This is working right now. Welcome to our current session of the AMAS, right? Ask me any stocks. And in today's session, we'll be talking about the Singapore market, the Singapore stocks, right? Right now. So make sure you join us all the way to the end. Why? Because what happens is that in this session, guys, we'll go through a quick market outlook. What exactly is happening in the market? I mean, why are we seeing weakness? We'll focus more on the Singapore market today. So we look at the STI, the Straits Times Index. Plus, you will let us know. I think some of you have already let us know, right? Some of the stocks that you want us to analyze for you live. All right. And that's exactly what we'll do. All right. Go ahead to type in the Singapore stocks that you want a quick opinion on. And that's where we will go to analyze your Singapore stocks using the One Good Trend strategy. All right. And we have this indicator, the One Good Trend Pro indicator, that just allows us to give you an opinion in seconds. All right. And that's where what we'll do as well. All right. And at the end as well, guys, I will share with you, and also me and my team, Bervin and Z, right over here. Each of us will share with you one bonus Singapore stocks that we like as well. All right. And that's where you want to put in your watch list, because there could potentially be more upside in this stock. And if you have been following us over the past few sessions, right, every Friday. So what happens every Friday, those of you who have been following us, right, every Friday we'll have this Ask Me Any Stock session. So today is Singapore market. Last Friday, if you have followed us, was the US market. So next Friday will be US, right? So you have been following some of the stocks that we shared. A lot of them have been pushing higher. All right. I hope you have got in and, make some money on them. All right. But stay all the way to the end. And that's where we'll share with you guys some of the stocks that you want to put in your watch list for potentially more upside. All right. So good morning. Those of you who are just joining us, welcome. We have only just got started today. All right. Welcome to this Ask Me Any Stocks Singapore market session today. And let's get started. So I think some of you are already typing the name of the Singapore stocks you want a quick opinion on. Go ahead. Me and my team will just go to mark them up, all right, and we'll try to cover. Our apologies again, guys. Normally when we do this session like this, there's more than 60, 70, 80 over stocks. We based on our count, we can only cover max in about 2 hours, about 20 stocks, all right? So we do our best, all right? If we cannot cover your stocks, hopefully you can join us in the next session, all right? And hopefully we try to pick those that are more popular one as well, all right? So give us a little bit of context, right? Especially when you're asking about stocks, rather than just put like DBS, full stop, nothing, right? So what about DBS do you want to know about, right? So let us know a bit of context, like, I bought it then. Is it going to go up because I bought it last week? I sold it, will it go up? Is it time to buy? Because a bit of context, so we know, like, it can a little bit more customized in terms of analysis, but you just give us on DBS. I don't know what you want about DBS, right? So give a bit of context. That's how we can give you a bit of priority, right? If it's a bit of a context to what you want, right? Are you looking to buy? Are you looking to sell? You're holding on to it for 10 years? I don't know, all right? A bit of context. Okay, so let's get started right now. So I have my team right here, Bervin, who has been with me more than 4 to 5 years now, one of the top brokers under me in Philips Securities, also our mentors conducting our group coaching sessions, helping our portfolio manager with our managed account service as well. And Bervin will be me as well, answering and pretty much covering the stocks that you want a quick opinion on, right? So Bervin, for those of you who don't know, right, he's a CFA, Chartered Financial Analyst, CFA chartered holder. Those of you who are in the banking financial sector, it's one of the highest qualification one can ever get, right? He's not only strong in technical, but also strong in fundamental analysis. So, Bervin, maybe just say a few words before we get started today.
Thanks, Joey, for the introduction. Yeah. So, hi everyone. Good morning. Welcome back for those who have joined us previously, and we continue to hope that myself, Joey, and Z is able to continue to give you guys a little bit more insight, a little bit more opinions on what we think about the stocks that you have in your watch list or think about adding to your watch list. So I think let's without any further ado, maybe we can start this session. And if you have not subscribed yet to Joey's channel, please help to subscribe so we can actually reach out to more people as well. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you so much for reminding to tell you guys. Guys, if you have not yet subscribed, like, or share the channel, would it be okay if you guys help us to do it right now? Just click on the like and the share button that should be at the top. Like and share. And more importantly, right, after liking and sharing, right, that'll help as well. Because once you share, you'll be on your profile. You will be able to find it, this video, the replay easier. And also, you want to hit subscribe and follow, all right, so that when we go live in the future, you will receive a notification as well, right? So hit the like and share and the subscribe button, all right? Hit the subscribe button so that when we go live, and I mean, it will definitely help out the channel as well. So thank you so much for helping us out over here, all right? So that's what you want to do. And let me go ahead to introduce another of my team member called Z, all right? Z has been around with me for more than 4 to 5 years now. One of the top brokers under me in Philip Securities as well, all right? Assisting our team in terms of our portfolio manager service as well, doing our group coaching, conducting one-on-one training about mentees. And Z is also what we call a chartered market technician, all right, CMT holder. Effectively, if you are talking about anything technical analysis, anything candlestick, anything chart patterns, whatever, Z is the go-to person, all right. Of course, she's equally, both Bervin and Z are well-versed in the one good trend strategy as well. But basically, Z is, I would say, one of the experts in terms of technical analysis or anything to do with the charts. All right, so Z, maybe just say a few words.
All right, thanks Joey for the introduction. Hi everyone, my name is Z. Good to see some of the familiar names here back today. But for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. This is what we do every Friday, and today we are doing Singapore stocks, right? So the thing is that later on we will be sharing with you our 1GT Pro indicator, and that's where how you can actually use that indicator to actually simplify your trades, right? To give you a quick opinion in just seconds to see whether there's bullish signals, bearish signals, when to enter, when to exit, right? Things like that. So that's pretty much what we are going to be doing today, and we'll try to cover as many stocks as possible today. So without further ado, I will pass the time back to Joey, right, to actually kickstart with today's market update.
Very good. Thank you so much, Z. So let's get started right now, guys. Those of you who are just joining us, right, just scrolling through Facebook, and we are live on YouTube as well and Facebook, all right. Welcome to this Ask Me Any Stock session, all right. Go ahead to follow us as the name of this session goes, right. Ask Me Any Stocks, Singapore stocks, not US stocks, not other country stocks, right. Singapore, because that's the whole purpose of today's session, all right. So type in the chat, and that's where we'll do our best to cover your Singapore stocks. All right, so let's get started right now. Just a quick disclaimer, right? Whatever that's covered today, right? The analysis, the sharing, all these are just for education purposes only, right? So please do your own due diligence, right? Standard disclaimer that we share, right? It's not to ask you to buy or sell, or not to buy or not to sell, or to do nothing, right? Please do a little bit of homework. We hope that it gives you a bit of value, a little bit of an idea of what to do, what to expect, of course, based on my one good trend strategy. And one thing I want to add is that, before we even talk about the stocks or the market, right? Today's session is not about sharing with you guys about the entire strategy and then, go into all the theoretical advanced stuff, right? We don't have time for that. As I say, this session is just to give you guys a quick opinion, a quick idea, pump. We move on, another one, and this hopefully you can cover as many as possible, right? In terms of all the stocks you're asking about, right? So if you're going to find out in terms of the strategy part, right? How do we actually look at an entry? How do we know when to get in? How do we know when to get out? Right? How do you know this stock is even supposed to buy in the first place? Is it? How do you know even that you want to put this stock in your watch list? Right? Should you even avoid it? Well, that is the strategy part. Attend one of those free webinars. Attend one of those free webinars. I will just place the link in the chat. Right? Just attend one of those free webinars, and that's where I will share with you guys a little bit more in terms of the strategy and how, with this indicator that we have, right, in a matter of seconds, a click of a button gives us an opinion on any stocks, any asset classes, DBS, Nvidia, Apple, crypto, FX, whatever, go in seconds, all right? Give you a quick opinion, all right? And so you'll find out a bit more about that, all right? Attend one of those free webinars. The link is right in the chat, all right? Once you click on the link, guys, you'll pretty much be led to this page right over here. You can read up and find a bit more. I think we have one webinar next Wednesday, 12th of March, 2025, 7:30, 9:30 p.m. The link's in the chat. Click on it. You'll come to this page, register for it, and that's where we'll share with you guys a little bit more on the strategy, all right, in terms of the 1GT Pro indicator. So let's get started right now, right? This is the STI. So Singapore market. So let's go ahead and cover what we call the STI right now, 3,918. So I would say that for the STI, right, you have been following us over the past AMAS live call. I think 2 weeks back we covered the STI. I mentioned many times that we have already been in the longer term uptrend just by looking at the 100 days moving average and the 200 days moving average, the red and the blue line, right? They're both pointing up. The red is above the blue. Right, so longer term has been up, and I think that really started, I mentioned as well, when we kind of broke above the 3,500 resistance level, right? All this while, 3,005 was pretty much a cap in like 2022, 2023, 2024, right? But somewhere around like end of 2024, we managed to break the 3,500. Look at this, a bit of resistance, came down, all right, broke above it, respected the same support, and I think that's where what really accelerated, all right, the whole entire recovery or uptrend in the STI. And look at this right now, right? Longer term trend is up. The short term trend, if you ask me, right? Well, we were actually a little bit of a sideways in September, right? So you can see the short term trend can turn down. Look at this, right? It turns down, and we want to look at the 20 days moving average, the green line. So it was turning down, sideways, but since November, the short term trend has been up a little bit. Now it is still pointing up. So the US market and the Singapore market is a little bit different, right? A little bit different. For US, maybe next week we'll cover, but for US, we did see a bit of weakness over the past 1 to 2 weeks due to the trade war, introduction of tariffs, and then going back and forth, introduce, then suspend, then introduce, then suspend again. All right, so there's a bit of weakness in the US market, but for Singapore market, to be honest, we have been actually quite resilient. All right, quite strong. All right, and what is some of the key support levels for the market? Well, I would say that right now, if you ask me, I would say we are seeing some pretty good support level right over here, somewhere around the 3,890 to maybe 3,900 level. Look at this right over here. It was originally the resistance we touched, we sold off, and we broke it somewhere in February, about 2 weeks back. And right now, you can see we are still hovering above this new support level. So about 3,880 to 3,900. We are above it. I mean, look at this right now. It's 3,917. So this is live, guys. The market is moving. You can see, right? This candlestick is kind of like moving, right? So it's like 3,917, which is above 3,009. All right. So it's a good thing. I think as long as we stay above that 3,009, we are still in a pretty bullish phase for the entire STI market. And if I can quickly just turn on what we call this indicator that I have, right? So look at this right over here, right? I have this one good trend pro indicator, all right? In short, it's one GT, the one good trend strategy that I've been using for more than 10, 15 years now, all right? And let me just turn on this button, click on it, boom, there we go. And you can see that it comes out with what we call bullish and bearish signals in seconds, right? In 2 seconds, right? Look at this, right? So we got a bullish signal. So a bearish signal came out in July, not that good, right? Started to see a bit of sell down. A bullish signal came out, all right? One GT bullish signal in August. There we go, all the way up. A bearish signal, well, sideways a bit. Another bearish signal, sideways a bit. But over the past 2 weeks, well, while the US market was seeing weakness, selling, trade war, all right, all the news and a bit of geopolitical tensions between US and Ukraine as well. Just last Friday, they had the White House meeting. Zelensky was there with Donald Trump, and it was like a confrontation, a bit of a shout out, right? A bit of weakness, uncertainty in the US market for sure, right? But Singapore, if you ask me, we have been quite resilient to all this news, all right? In fact, we got a bullish signal, and it started to push even higher, right? So as I say, right now, 3,880 to 3,009 would be a support level. This bullish signal is still in play. There are no bearish signal. And if I can quickly turn on what we call the trailing support. Look at this, right? So this is a trailing support. Well, essentially this trailing support, right? We can turn it on. It gives us an idea on, if we were to stay above this trailing support, that gives the index or a stock the breathing space it needs, right, to hopefully move higher. Well, we are still okay. We are still positive and bullish. But if you go below the trailing support, well, not so good. That's where the space is taken up. All right, we could potentially see some weakness in the short term. So far, I think so good, right? We're still seeing strength in the market. We are, longer term trend is up. The short term trend is up. We are above the trailing support line. Not only that, we are also above this horizontal support around the 3,880 that I've just drawn. So I think it looks too good. I mean, not too bad for the STI. All right. Okay, very good. So now let me go ahead to cover some of the stocks that you guys want a quick opinion on. Very quickly, as I say, guys, what you want to do, right, is to type the name of the stocks, and very simple. You want to give us a little bit of a context, all right? A bit of context, like when do you buy the stock, right? What do you want to know? Should you sell it? Should you buy it? All right, or you have sold it yesterday? Give us a bit of context as well. We'll give a bit of idea as well. All right, okay. So let's see. Let me just go ahead to cover very quickly. I'm just going to go through one by one, and I'll just pick one stock before my team cover the other one. So very simple, guys. Like how our usual Ask Me Any Stock session go, right? I'll do it first, then we'll pass on the mic to Bervin, and then Z will cover, and then Z will pass it on back to me. All right. Okay, so let's see, right? What are some of the stocks that I can cover today? Okay, so I think some of you are asking about Yang Zijiang, Linda, right? Linda, Yang Zijiang Financial, right? Yang Zijiang Financial. Okay, let me just go into that. I think one of the popular stocks that we have actually covered, I think a few times, the YZJ Financial Holding, right? If I'm not wrong, right over here. Okay, so look at it, right? So Yang Zijiang Financial Holding, let me click on it. Let's take a look at it. All right, so let me just turn off the signals and see, right? Okay, so this is Yang Zijiang Financial. Linda, I hope you're still here. All right, I hope this is the stock that you want, Yang Zijiang Financial Holding. So I think Yang Zijiang Financial Holding, to be honest, we have been covering this since last year, right? One of our very popular, strong, uptrending stock that actually woke up, as we went into like January this year. And of course, we caught for it as well. Some of our clients were alerted by WhatsApp to it as well. And it really started to move up, right? So you can ask me, the longer term trend is up. Right, look at this, longer term trend is up. Look at the red and blue line is up. The short term trend, if you ask me in December or November, I would say it's a bit boring, right? Why? I mean, look at the green line. It was like up, and then it went flat. Boring, all right? November and December, boring, all right? I mean, like, what's happening? I also don't know, right? It was just going sideways. I have no idea what it's not doing, right? But somewhere in January, right over here, you can see, right? The green 20 days moving average line started to point up, all right? So the short-term trend has turned up. The long-term is up all the way. There's no problem, right? Very easy to see, okay? The red and blue has been up, right? So that one, I think all of you can see also, okay? But the short-term trend that was boring in November and December suddenly, woke up and turned up as we broke this very key resistance at about 0.44 or 0.45 right over here. Look at this, right? We broke the very key resistance level that we've been trading below for 3 months. Bam, we broke above it. The short-term trend turned up, right? So now if you ask me, is the short-term trend still up? Well, I would say the short-term trend is still up. I mean, look at this, right? The green line obviously is still pointing up. I don't know whether it'll point up some more, but as of today, it is still pointing up, all right? So not too bad. One of the stocks that we covered, and if I can quickly go to turn on what we call the 1GT Pro indicator, the signals, right? Pam, let's turn it on. Let's take a look, right? Look at these guys. In fact, even before it started to move up, look at this, right? We actually had a bullish signal right over here. And what was this? This was on the 26th of September, all right? About 5 months back, 6 months back, 26th September. We got a bullish signal right here. And let's take a look. Well, what is the gain? I mean, from here all the way to here, 85.7% gain, all right, in 5 months. 85.7% gain, right? So, I mean, if you have followed this signal, of course, we were alerted to it as well, all right? That's the reason why we shared with our clients as well. But if you're alerted, right, you got in, right? Maybe right over here or maybe slightly higher, doesn't matter. 85% in about 5 months, very strong bullish signal. And if I can quickly turn on what we call the trailing support, right? Trailing support. So, this trailing support, just to give you an idea, right, of this, what does it really mean? Well, essentially the names, as they call it, trailing support. Trailing means to follow. So if a stock is good, it's in an uptrend, we have this trailing support that actually follows the stock as it moves higher, right? So you can see it was very boring in November and December, right? So the trailing support was just flat, nothing to follow, because it was not really going up, right? But when it woke up somewhere in January, as I mentioned, right, it broke the 44, 45 resistance. That is where the trailing support started to follow, because there's things to follow already, right? So it started to follow, go up, follow. All right, and are we still above this trailing support? Yes, indeed, right? So you can see that this trailing support, as it follows, it doesn't just follow like very, very tightly and then like no space at all. We give it some space to hopefully move higher. Look at the space, right? So it goes up, then we go up more, we follow more, right? But there's still some space as we allow it to move even higher. So this is what we call a volatility space, right? We want to give the stock room to maneuver a little bit, right? Don't go down 1 cent and you cut out, right? No, right? Give it some space, and this space accounts for what we call the volatility, right? If it's very volatile, it go up very fast, then we give it a bit more space, right? But if it's like starts to move sideways, look at this, like for example, in November and December, can you see if there's any space? don't need to have so much space. It's not really moving, right? It's boring and sideways, right? So don't need to have so much space, right? But if it starts moving, then we want to give it more space, right? That's the whole purpose of this volatility, right? That this trailing support actually does. It accounts for the volatility. If it's hugely volatile, we give it more space. If it's not so volatile, all right, then we give it lesser space. But essentially, right, the key here is that if we are above the trailing support line, all right, the green 20 days moving average line is pointing up. I think this stock still looks good, Linda. So in fact, one of our top positions, right, it looks to be even more bullish right now. I think anything above that 60 cents. So 60 cents, now it's what, 65, right? So I think anything above that 60 cents would be a little bit of a psychological support. If you want to give a bit more allowance and space, well, maybe that 58, 57 cents, that would be where the trailing support is, right? So I think right now, maybe a bit of a resistance we can share with you, right? Right around that 66 to 65 level. So I think if we can break the 66, targets could be revised, maybe up to 70, 75 cents, and that's where you want to ride further, all right? And that is where this trailing support line will also follow it up even more, all right? So what we could do is that we can use this trailing support to guide us. If we go below it, we will be alerted. There will be a bearish signal. I mean, since September until now, there's no bearish signal. So if you ask me, still good, all right? If a bearish signal come out, then still good, then maybe not so good, all right? But today, is the bearish signal coming out? Haven't yet lah. All right, I don't know when. Tomorrow, next week, I don't know. All right, when it comes out, and then I will know. All right, then I will probably want to get out, take some profit, and don't be greedy. All right, so this is Yang Zhejiang Financial Holding. I hope that this is pretty much the first stock I cover. And let me pass on the mic to Bervin, right, to cover the next Singapore stock. Bervin, all yours. Go ahead.
Thanks, Joey. Okay, so the next stock I want to cover, I think KK is asking about Comfortdelgro. I think KC is also asking about Comfortdelgro. So I will just go ahead to cover Comfortdelgro as my first stock for today. Okay, so if we just quickly look at Comfortdelgro, we actually saw that prices had actually staged a reversal sometime 2 years ago in September 2023, and the moving averages or the longer term moving averages have sloped up since then. All right, a little bit of a consolidation, and the 100 days moving average rebounded from the 200 days moving average. And if we look into the closer time period, let me clear this out first. Closer time period, we actually see the 20 days moving average, slope down for a little bit for the past 2 months or so. And finally, we saw it, stabilize a little bit and started to point back up as of now. So that's a good sign that we have buyers coming in the nearer term, showing some signs of a support close to the $1.35 level, where prices previously had rebounded from as well. So this is pretty much a key level. I would say that maybe some buyers are looking to get in, come back in for a little bit of bargain hunting. But pretty much, if we just see prices had moved up slightly, about to the 150 level, touched it, sellers came back down, went back up again, touched it, consolidate close to it, not able to pretty much break above it. And we actually see that sellers actually come back in once again. Okay, so right now, where are we headed to? It looks like prices are trying to make headways towards this 150 level first. Are we able to break it, maybe next week, next 2 weeks? I'm not too sure as of now. But at least we can tell that from the 20 days moving average, there is some signs.
Hey, Bervin, just hang on a while, Bervin. Just hang on for a while. I think there's some, I think some people are commenting that cannot see the screen. Is that right? Okay, let me just go to try mine, all right? Are you guys able to see the screen? Because I think we can see Bervin's screen. Let me just go to put Bervin's screen on the chat again. This is now showing live Bervin's screen. Are you guys able to see the screen? Or maybe, Bervin, maybe you can just move, because it seems like we have quite a bit of comments that are not able to see.
Are you able to see my screen now?
For us, we are able to see. Okay, let me just check live as well. Just give us a second.
No, still cannot. Okay, no problem. Let me just stop my share first.
Yeah, no worries.
Let me just share again. No worries. Thanks for letting us know.
Right? So sometimes such things happen, guys. So this is live, all right? It happens. So hang on, just hang on there. All right, let us see.
How about now? I've just reshared the screen. Still not able to.
Actually, I think I can see already on the live.
Seems like it is working. I'm not too sure. Are you guys able to see? I mean, I'm joining live as well now.
Okay, Chester, yes.
Chester, yes.
Aksong,
yes.
Already,
right? Carol, okay.
Okay, Carol, yes. Okay. Thank you so much for letting us know.
Thanks for alerting us, guys. I mean, sometimes because we are presenting and we are, but it's good to alert us like this before the chat, and then now it's working. I think I can also see it on my phone already. Okay, good. Bervin, go ahead, come.
Okay, so maybe let me just restart a little bit. Okay, so what I've mentioned just now is prices have actually rebounded, or say staged a little bit of a reversal in the longer term since September of 2023, and we have pretty much broke the 135 level sometime in late 2023, and right now we are pretty much in a consolidation phase where sellers had actually came in as and when we actually approached the 150 level, tested a couple of times, but the 135 support level is still currently holding, and we actually also see the 20 days moving average. 20 days moving average also showing a little signs of strength as we head towards this 150 level. So if are we going to be able to break this 150 level? I think it's still too early to tell. I mean, nobody can tell you if this week it will break, next week it will break, whether you come back down to 135 to test it again. Nobody will know. But I think if you are looking to try to get in, this would be the rough range you're actually looking at, somewhere closer to the 135 level, where you can potentially take a position to actually ride the upside towards the 150 level first. All right, so if let me just turn on the trailing support and resistance to actually see what's going on. Okay, so let me just clear it up. I think my chart just got a little bit messy. Okay, so right here we actually see 2 days ago we have the prices actually breaking above the trailing support, like what Joey have just now mentioned. So the trailing support actually gives the stock room, some space to breathe if it hits down. The trailing resistance is also very similar to this. So it also gives the stock space to, if it hits higher and higher and higher and eventually breaks this trailing resistance, that is a good sign that we have a little bit of strength, a little bit of buying interest in the market in the present as well. All right, so if I were to just turn on, let's see, the 1GT signals, we have a very, very recent 1GT bullish signal that came in when prices broke above this trailing resistance. So that is a good sign. But perhaps if I were to just turn on again the horizontal support and resistance lines, you could see that the horizontal resistance are all very, very close to the 150 level. So perhaps if prices are able to break above this 150 level, all right, 150 level, that's when we can have another 1GT bullish signal that could come in, potentially, projecting the stock high into more upside as well. So where would the upside be if this 150 level finally gives way? Just let me turn this off to just make it a little bit neater. Okay, so if we just do a simple projection towards 150 from the 135 level and just bring it up a little bit, you can see that the next upside would be about the 165, 166 level. So that is about another 9 to 10% upside from the 150 level. But whether it will hit there soon, not too sure. So if you are actually looking to be a little bit more aggressive, what you could do is set up some alerts. Just right click on the TradingView app, add an alert, maybe when the prices are able to break and hold above the 150 level. So maybe about the 152, 153 level. So you want to set up some alerts to let yourself know that could this be a potential sign for a new entry. But if you are currently holding onto Comfortdelgro, thinking if you should be selling, you should be buying more, I think one level would be to take note would be this level that is relatively close to the 150 level. If you wish to take some profits closer to this 150 resistance, I would say it's completely okay. Nothing wrong to be doing that as well. Lock up some profits as well. You want to lock up some of your positions, as in sell half of it, sell 1/3 of it, up to you. All right. But I think if the upside continues, it would be towards the 165 level if the 150 level holds. All right, Casey and KK, I hope that covers Comfortdelgro for you. Can I pass the time now to Z to cover the next stock for you guys?
Okay, thanks, Bervin. Okay, let me just share my screen. Hopefully, you guys can see my screen as well. Okay, so I will be talking about this stock called Lion OCBC Hang Seng Tech ETF. Okay, so this is actually an ETF, and Bunny Ong is actually asking, will it go higher? So let us look at this. Okay, so just FYI, any asset classes, right, that you can actually see on TradingView, even like crypto, Bitcoin, ETFs, things like that, right? You can also use the 1GT Pro indicator to give you a quick analysis on this stock as well. Okay, so let's take a look at this together. For this particular stock, I mean, it's listed on the Singapore Exchange, right, since 2021 lah. But obviously, when we can see like that with just the moving average and the trend alone, nothing turned on, we can see that, I mean, the trend is definitely down lah, right? It has been in a downtrend for quite some time, right? Since 2021 all the way to somewhere in 2024, right? Even 2024, it is actually still in a downtrend. And if I were to actually draw this thing, you can see right over here, like that, right? Prices is actually forming what we call like lower highs, right? It's actually forming lower high, and this is what we call a downward sloping channel resistance line, right? But only somewhere in July, August, this is where we first started to see that the longer term trend is kind of like playing a reversal is actually playing out. Why? Because this is where, let me just highlight it for you. This is where we see the red line actually broke above and crossed the blue line, right? This is where it actually happened. But of course, I mean, the short-term trend, green, is still down lah. But the longer-term trend is starting to play out, right? Starting to play out. And that's where we start to see the red line and the blue line starting to slope up already since August and September last year, right? And the confirmation came when we start to see in October last year, whereby the 20 days moving average started to point up as well, okay? So, I mean, of course, prices actually went up all the way to this 90 cents, right? Which is, of course, a resistance level back then, right? Because that's where we saw, you know, selling pressure come back in, a super long bearish candlestick. Sellers came back in, push price back down. And price still managed to hold above this 70 cents level. So this 70 cents would be a support. Back then, this 90 cents would be a resistance, right? But eventually, I mean, over a couple of months, consolidated sideways for a bit. It actually moved higher and broke this 90 cents. Right, and this is where we are at. So right now, this price, like what Joey mentioned earlier on, right, this trading view is live, it's live. So as of now, I think it's about $1.16 lah, 1.016. Yeah, 1.016. So Bunny is actually asking, will this actually go higher? In terms of looking at the trend at this point in time, all three moving averages, short term 20 days, longer term 100 and 200 days, all of them are heading up, right? And all of them are actually heading up in the same direction as well. So that is definitely a good thing, right? Secondly, price is actually holding above this resistance that turned to become a support. So this 90 cents level previously was a resistance. Now it's actually a support, right? We saw that, you know, price actually went all the way up to about this $1, right? This $1. Sellers came back in, push prices back down. But on this very day, we see right over here, price still managed to hold above the 90 cents with a long lower shadow. So that indicates that buying pressure is there to support the price at 90 cents, right? And then now price is actually testing, I would say, price is actually testing this $1 psychological level, because $1 is, you know, around a nice number, and usually these numbers is where people usually, you know, queue to actually sell their orders, right? So I would say right over here at this $1, I would say now currently price is actually testing this $1 psychological level, but I'm not sure whether price will actually be able to break and continue to hold above it. But as of now, it seems that it's above this $1, but I'm not sure if it will close. But what we want to monitor is if price is able to actually hold above this $1 psychological level, be it even if it goes up or it consolidates above this, then potentially we might see more upside towards where? Towards this $1.20 level right over here. Why? Because if we look back, this is the level whereby price was actually kept below since 2021, right? Since July 2021. And this is where the resistance, I would say, would be around. If let's say you're actually holding on to this stock, right, perhaps you might want to set some price alert near this 120, maybe at like 117, 118, 119, right? Then this could be a potential area where you can potentially take some partial profits as well if the price were to continue to actually head up, especially so when now all of the moving averages are all pointing up and heading in the same direction. Okay, so Bunny, I hope that helps for Hang Seng Tech Index. I'll pass the time back over to Joey to cover the next stock.
All right, thank you so much. Let me go ahead to cover the next stock. I think a lot of you are asking about this stock. One of the very popular stock, and I know there was a bit of selling over the past week. What stock is that? Well, this stock is none other than Yang Zhejiang. So this one is different, right? This previously just now I covered Yang Zhejiang Financial Holding, which was strong, pushing up, right? You definitely want to have that. But this stock right over here, Yang Zhejiang Shipbuilding, all right, would be this thing right over here. You can see that this is Yang Zhejiang. I think AR1259 asking about, is it good to buy? All right, Rainy Ho, Yang Zhejiang Shipping. Xiuping, Yang Zhejiang. Well, a lot of you are asking about Yang Zhejiang shipping, so I think let me just cover it right now, and let's take a look at what is happening. Okay, so you can see for Yang Zhejiang, actually, if you ask me since last year, all right, it has been one of the very strong uptrending stock, right? Just by looking at the red and the blue line, I've just turned on, as I say, guys. I mean, I'm just going to turn it on right now, so it's a bit faster. But the click of a button, gone. Click of a button, comes out, right? It gives us an opinion in seconds, any asset classes. So the Yang Zhejiang, and you can see that since like 2023, 2024, right? We got some bullish signals, right? And it starts to all the way up, 2 bearish signals, and down it went, all right? And then we got some bullish signals coming out in January last year. Look at this, right? The rally, I think, really started another few more bullish. May, another bullish, and went even faster, all right? About 82% in about 5-6 months, all right? And some bearish signals came out, came down, bearish signal went sideways a bit. A bullish signal came in December, off we went. But let me point your attention to what has happened over the past 2 weeks, right? Over the past 2 weeks. So you can see that for Yang Zhejiang, right? We got not one, but we got 2, all right? 2 bearish signals that came out, right? In fact, just before it really started to sell down, right, on this day, right over here, 24th February, the first bearish signal came out, and then it went even down, right? Went even lower, right? So why did this bearish signal came out in the first place? Well, let me go ahead to turn on what we call the trailing support line right over here. Let me just turn on. You can see, right? When the first bullish signal came out in December, right? There we go. The trailing support pops up. As I say, this trailing support follows the stock as it moves higher. It accounts for volatility, and it follows it as it goes even higher. If you stay above it, it's good, right? It gives it space to breathe, all right? However, look at this right over here on this day, on the day whereby we got the first bearish signal on the 24th of February, right over here. You can see that we kind of like take up all the space and we went below the trailing support that it is supposed to stay above if it is good. I mean, if you're good, then you stay above. Like you're not good, then you come below, right? So you broke below it. A bit of weakness. The first bearish signal came out. The next day, you can see we had another bearish signal, and that was because we actually broke below another horizontal support level, like maybe the 280. If I can just turn it on for you, there will be another horizontal support level right over here, right? So you can see this is a horizontal support, pump. All right, so we broke the horizontal support, and another bearish signal came out. So if you ask me right now, well, we got 2 bearish signals. So I mean, if you've been alerted to get out, then that's where you get out, all right? And what happens is that now it just came down and down and down based on this bearish signal, right? So some of you are asking like AR1259, Yang Zhejiang, is it good to buy? I mean, it's quite cheap, right? It was like $3, $3.20, $3.10, right? And now that we got a bearish signal, so let me go ahead to just turn this off, right? So it's a bit cleaner. So now that we got a bearish signal, some of you might ask me, is it good to buy right now? Right? I mean, it looks pretty cheap, like $2 and what? Now it's $2.38. Well, my take is this, right? I would say that if you ask me whether it's cheap, yes, it's cheap. All right. Is it cheaper than last week? Yes, confirm cheaper, right? It came down, right? So cheap, then we go and buy, is it? No, right? I mean, we want to wait for some confirmation. So what are some of the confirmations we want to look out for? Well, essentially, I would say that we have found a little bit of support. Let me just draw this horizontal line right over here. All right. $2.20 since June 2024. All right. Look at this. Rebound. All right. Near here, rebound. Somewhere in November, we neared it, rebound. So 220 to 230. Look at this right over here. In fact, I think, that's where we were over the past 1-2 weeks, right? We came down to this level, 220 to 230, maybe to 240, like right over. I think you get it, right over here. All right, if we can just draw this box for you a little bit bigger, right over here. That is where we are starting to see some bargain hunting, some buying pressure is starting to come back, all right? And in fact, right over here, if you ask me, we actually also got some bullish candlestick whereby, we got some long lower shadow. So whenever we see any candlestick whereby it's a long wick at the bottom, all right, a long shadow at the bottom, right? It just means that buyers actually came out at the end of the day, started to buy up, started to push prices higher, and it closed somewhere at the high of the day. That is kind of like a little bit of a good thing with a long lower shadow, and that's exactly what we're seeing over the past week. So 220 to 230 to 240, I think that would be kind of like a buying zone, all right, a buying zone. So the question is that if we have headed to this buying zone, right, and then each time we near it, we rebound, and then should we just go and buy right now because it might rebound, right? Well, the answer is that if you're taking a more aggressive approach, you don't want any more confirmation, you just want to get in because yes, rebounded previously near here, you just want to try your luck, right? That's fine. But we probably don't want to do that. We want to wait for more confirmation. As I say, based on the strategy that I have, the one good trend strategy, what could be the confirmation that we are waiting for? So let me just show you, right? Look at this, right? So we got two bearish signals this last week, right? Let me just go back maybe in time to over here. Look at this right over here, right? That was in September 2023, right? We got two bearish signals as well, all right? And down it went, right? It went down, all right? Maybe not as much as down, but it went down. And when do we want to think about getting? Well, when we get new bullish signals coming out. Look at this. I mean, we've got two new bullish, the one GT bullish signals coming out. And the green 20 days moving average line that represents the short-term trend that was going down, and flat also started to point up. That's what we want, all right? Let's see if that has happened yet, right? Do we have any bullish signal? No. Don't have, right? I mean, there's no bullish signal, right? I mean, I don't know whether tomorrow or next week will come up, but as of now, there isn't any bullish signal, right? Is the green line kind of like still pointing up? I mean, is it like pointing up, this green line? No, I mean, we have to bluff ourselves, right? I mean, obviously, you can see this green line, this 20 days moving average line. It is obviously still pointing down, all right? So probably not yet, right? Probably not yet. So if you're going to get more confirmation, what I would say would be, I want something like this, right? So yes, I mean, at least if you have one small confirmation that we have indeed reached the 220 to 230 to 240 buying zone. Good. Then you can put on take, no problem, right? Great stuff, right? But if you get like 2 or 3 more confirmation that, wow, now this buying zone, we are really there, and yet we see a bullish signal, and yet the short-term trend also turned up. I mean, don't you think it's better? Does it make sense so far? All right, so that is what we want. So what I want to do is that I think it would be better if you want to wait for a more confirmation in terms of entry. We want to wait for like maybe this green 20 days moving average line. I mean, now it's stopping down. I think we continue to consolidate above the 220, 230. Well, eventually this green line, all right, let me just make a guess, right? Maybe go down a bit more, and then we continue to stay above 220 or 230. Well, you will start to flatten out, right? Maybe over here, it might start to flatten out. And maybe it might start to turn back up again, right? And when that happens, could it be something like what we see over here, right? Whereby it goes down and it starts going back up. Could it be, let me just like take from here. All right, let's pretend like from here, we can take it and maybe we can put it over here. Does it make sense? I mean, this is something like we could look out for, right? When the green 20 days moving average line start to point up and then we see a new bullish signal. That would be another confirmation in terms of a reversal. And that's what we are looking for, all right? So I think that will give it a bit more weight because now it shows that this bargain hunting zone 220 to 240 is indeed holding. The bullish signal that came out, I think in terms of the selling pressure that has been wiped out, it has been taken away, all right? Then buyers are pretty much ready for that reversal phase. All right, so that is for Yang Zhejiang, right? So you'll put in your watch list, all right, and let's move on to the next stock. I hope you guys got a bit of value right there. All right, let's move on to the next stock. I think Bervin, you can take us through the next Singapore stock.
Thanks, Joey. Okay, so I think the next Singapore stock, keeping to the theme, I think Johan is asking about I believe you are asking about Seatrium. Is it a good time to buy? I think even so I saw one more. I think Linda was also asking about it. All right, so let me just cover Seatrium right now. Hopefully everybody is able to see my screen. I hope. Let me just if you can see my screen all okay, just type okay in the chat for me, so I make sure everybody can see before I start talking about Seatrium. All right.
Bervin, I think I can't really see your screen because I'm using my phone. It's like okay. I think it waits. It looks a while. Yeah, now it's fine. Now it's fine. Maybe you can let us know in the chat. Let us know in the chat.
Fine.
Okay.
I think it's working on my mobile. Should be fine. Yeah.
Okay. So so this is Seatrium. Very, very similar actually. If you look at the last 3 weeks, not to be mistaken, Yang Zhejiang, although the way the stock prices is behaving, it looks very, very similar at this point. But previously, we actually saw a pretty good run up first before this sell down. We have a 1 GT signal here, another one here, and then we have a 1 GT bearish signal that just came out about 2 weeks ago. So before that signal, the 1 GT bearish signal actually came out, had a pretty good run up of about 48 to 50% first before actually we had that signal that came out and we saw prices weakening a little bit. As of right now, we can see that, I mean, very clearly the 20-day moving average is no longer pointing up already. It's starting to slow down a little bit and pointing downwards. Even the 100 days moving average is starting to flatten out a little bit, although the 200 days moving average still looks to be pointing up very gently at this point. we are looking like there is a little bit of weakness that came in and stabilizing closer towards this $2 to 210 level, where previously it was a support. All right, it was a support, it was a resistance went up from the support, so now we are back to where we were, sometime earlier this year as well. Yeah, maybe even slightly weaker than that. All right, so previously, as prices approach this 260 resistance level, we actually saw sellers that came back in, break below this temporary support of 240, where previously prices had also tested, but it was not, we do not see any buying actually quickly came back in at that point of time, melted through that support very quickly, saw continued weakness, and right now we are moving a little bit sideways, a little bit more sideways. Prices just trading up and down, very minimal movement. Are we able to hold above this 210 level? Hard to tell right now. We do not see any bearish or bullish candlesticks very close to this support as well, so no confirmation there as well. So if you are looking to buy, I think what you could do would be to actually wait for the 20 days moving average to actually, like what Joey have said, mentioned, flatten out, come close, and maybe potentially rebound, maybe even from the 100 days moving average. Was one of the stocks on my watch list as well, and then we actually received this 1GT bearish signal. But I think right now you still can leave it on your watch list, but perhaps what you want to do would be to actually, give yourself some time. Do not have to rush in just yet, although it looks cheaper, looks like it's on a sale right now, but doesn't mean that you have to buy it immediately. I think firstly you have to set like a 1GT signal alert as well, so you can get further information or further alerts. Of course, we do not want to see another 1GT bearish signal appear after the $2.10 level is broken. You want to see prices start to head back up, maybe it's just slowly as well, breaking that trailing resistance and having a new 1GT signal, and with the other confirmations of the 20 days moving average coming in as well. I think that will give you a much more better trade setup or trade confirmation as well. Because if this 210 doesn't hold, you do not want to be caught in a situation where you can see the downside could also hit to about the 180 level where prices had previously rebounded from. All right, so that's just a very, very quick one, just to be a little bit more cautious for Seatrium as well. All right, okay, so Z, can you bring us through the next stock?
All right, thanks, Bervin. Okay, let me just share my screen. I think someone, Andrew is actually asking about Keppel Corp, right? Decide to sell and take profit or to hold and accumulate more. I think someone earlier on was also asking about Keppel. VJ? Yeah, VJ, I think you're also asking about Keppel, right? Okay, so let's go through Keppel now, okay? Let's go through Keppel now. Okay, so for Keppel, right, we can see that, since 2023, prices rallied all the way up, but subsequently, throughout the years 2023, 2024, even where we are at right now, right, there isn't much movement. Like, it's a bit boring. It's kind of like just going sideways within a large consolidation range, right? And very clearly, we can see that there is actually some sort of support right over here at this 580 level that I've already drawn, right? This 580 level. Why? Because we can see that, price actually came back down to actually test near this level. You see, test this level again, at least 3 times, right? At least 3 times, multiple times. So the more times you actually test a level, especially like a support, right, we give more weightage to it. So I would say this 580 level is one of the crucial support levels that you guys might want to take note, and perhaps can also set some price alert around that level as well. Okay, but I mean, within this consolidation range, as we say, it's already a range, right? So a range means there will be a lower boundary and there is also an upper boundary. So the upper boundary that we are talking about right here would be a resistance level, right? So where the resistance level is at, I would say somewhere at this $7 mark, this red line over here that I've drawn, right? Because again, it has tested this level multiple times. One time here, over here, and then over here as well, near it some more, right? So it has tested at least 3 to 4 times lah. So support 580, resistance resistance about $7 right over here, right? So this green and this red line. So where are we at right now in terms of price? So if we zoom in closer, let's take a look at this. So I think as of now, price is trading at about 680, right? But over the past couple of months, since Q4 of 2024, right, we actually start to see a higher support being formed. So this higher support, right, we can actually spot this support somewhere about this 660. So it doesn't mean that when price is actually within a larger consolidation range, it cannot consolidate even further. It can, right? It can consolidate even further, and we can actually even spot this 660 support level right over here, right? Because we see that, price went up, test this $7 resistance, which is still valid, right? Sellers came back in, push price back down, support still hold at this 660. Okay, so it means that there is more buying pressure coming back at this 660. Price didn't go all the way back down to this 580. At this 660, buyers came back in to support the price, right? But if we look at the trend, if we just look at the trend, I'll just focus on the moving averages, okay? Longer term moving average, this, let me just highlight this blue line right here, right? If we just take a look at this blue line, it's actually just kind of like heading sideways, right? It's just flattening out, and it has been going sideways for quite some time, right? And the red line, look at the red line now. It has been going sideways, up a bit, down a bit, up a bit, down a bit, but it generally has also been heading sideways, right? But of course, the shorter term trend, 20 days moving average, has been going up and down within this larger consolidation range that we have drawn, right? $587, correct? So now the thing is that we have actually seen 1GT bearish signal coming out right over here, right? So what does this mean? So this means that there is more selling pressure coming back into this stock, right? It doesn't mean that the stock will crash. We see this 1GT bullish signal. It doesn't mean that the stock will crash. The buyers are still coming in to support at this 660 level, right? So Andrew, to answer your question, right, to decide to sell or to take profit or to hold or accumulate, right, I would say perhaps you might want to monitor this $7 resistance right over here, because this level, as we know, it has been tested multiple times, right? So near this $7, maybe like, 690 to this $7, this area, right, is what we call like a resistance zone, right? So this is where we can potentially take some profits as well. Perhaps you can take some partial profits, half, 1/3, near the resistance zone, right? But the thing is that if price is actually able to break above this $7, then potentially it might hit higher, but hit higher to where, right? The question is to where. So we can actually do this projection as well, as we have seen many times, right? That's what we do. So we actually project it up from the $7 range. So the next potential target that we are potentially looking at would be this 740, provided that price is actually able to break and hold above this $7. But of course, we want to have another confirmation, like what Joey mentioned, right? We want to have confirmation as many as possible. So what you can do is also right click to set an alert. So for myself, I'll just do it right now to show it to you guys. We can set alert, right? So condition 1GT, I want to add buy or sell alert. So to at least alert me if, let's say, there's any new 1GT bullish or 1GT bearish, right? Add alert. And then I can want to customize name. So this is for Keppel, right? Keppel Corp. Great. That's it. So it will actually alert me if there is any 1GT bullish or 1GT bearish signal coming up. Okay, so for Andrew and VJ, for Keppel, the levels that I want to monitor, right, definitely will be this 660 support level. If prices is unable to hold, right, then perhaps we might actually see the consolidation coming into play again, because like what I've mentioned, the longer term trend is actually still intact. So perhaps it could go back to, the longer term consolidation like this as well. It could actually happen if it actually were to break the 660, right? So 660, I would want to monitor this level as well as this $7. So if prices were to break above the $7, we want to look towards the 740 next target level. All right, so that would be for Keppel. I'll pass the time back to Joey to cover the next Singapore stock.
All right, thank you so much. Great analysis there. All right, let me move on to the next one. I think William, right at the beginning, William Chua, let me just show your comment. William, hope you're still here. All right, and you actually asked about this stock called Food Empire. So very quickly, let me just go to run through. All right, and let me just do a quick recap, guys. For those of you who have just joined us, we have gone on for about an hour now. All right, and welcome to this Ask Me Any Stocks live session on the Singapore market. We have covered the STI, all right, a quick market update of what is happening. The first stock that we covered was Yang Zhejiang Financial Holding. Comfortdelgro. All right, number 2, number 3, we have a Lion OCBC Securities, the tech stock. All right, and number 4, Yangzijiang Shipbuilding. Number 5, Seatrium that Bervin covered. Number 6 that Z just covered was Keppel. All right, and right now this is number 7, and this is Food Empire. So guys, in case you are asking about the same 7 stocks that we have covered, then take note that we will not cover it again. You can watch the replay, right? So make sure you go to subscribe, like the channel, so that you're able to find the channel easily. All right, you can watch the replay in case you miss any of the stocks that we have already covered. All right, so let's talk about this stock right now that is called Food Empire. All right, I think not too bad. I think William, you're asking about Food Empire. I'm not too sure whether you're looking to buy or to sell, but in fact, we have a couple of bullish signals. I would say that was the beginning of the last year. Look at it, started to push up, got a bearish signal, it starts coming down, all right? But seems like over the past, let me go to draw this support level, horizontal support, maybe around the 95 cents. Look at this, right? It was where we were in July, August, rebounded, we're right over here. And I think this stock is starting to move higher. Let me just show you why. Look at this, right? I can draw this resistance level right over here. This will be the $1.10. $1.10, if you look at it, right? In 2023, was a bit of a resistance, came down. Look at this, right? We broke the 110 resistance and started to push all the way up to 135. So you can draw this resistance level right over here. That could be where we might potentially retest. Let me just zoom into the front right now, and let's see, right? So you can see, this is the resistance level that I've drawn just now, $1.35. So we also got a new bullish signal, right? Not one, but 2 bullish signal. The first bullish signal in January, another one right over here where we attempted or we broke the 105 to 110 resistance level the next day, you can see, right? And we have started to push up. So I think not too bad. This stock seems to have woken up, right? Because as I say, 110 was where we were trading below from May last year all the way to February, almost 1 year, right? Almost 1 year, very boring. Look at the green 20 days moving average line was like this, down and then flat up a bit, flat down a bit. But now it has started to point up, right? Look at this, right? It started to point up. So that's a good thing, right? We broke a key resistance, a bullish signal came out, the 20 days moving average line point up, all right? So it is starting to see some short-term strength, right? But if you ask me, right, what about the longer term trend? Well, if you ask me the longer term trend in 2023 and stuff, look at the red and blue line, very good, very strong, right? 2023, very strong reversal, right? But if you ask me now the longer term trend, well, the red and the blue line, they are just beginning to point. Look at this, right? The red is crossing. Let me just zoom it for you, right? The red 100 days moving average is just starting to cross above the blue line, and both of them are starting to point. I would say that if we can hold above the 110 or maybe even above the 120, well, the longer term, longer term takes a while, right? That's why it's called longer term, right? So that's where it will slowly start to point up. That could be the beginning, all right, of even more upside of a trend reversal in the longer term as well. So I think it looks quite good. I think upside could be anything from 110. So 110 would be a support level right now because that was where we broke. It has turned from a resistance to a horizontal support all the way up to maybe 130 to 135. I think that could be a potential selling zone whereby some profit taking can come back again. All right. So this is Food Empire. William, I hope that you're still here. I think, let me go turn on what we call the trailing support to see what it says, right? So you see a trailing support pops up. Look at this, right? So the trailing support is right over here, maybe near the 110 as well. As I say, give it space, right? So if it goes up higher, the trailing support will follow it up higher. All right. Hopefully it breaks the 135. The trailing support will follow even higher. All right. And that's where it give it space to hopefully move even higher. All right. Okay, good. So that is for Food Empire. And by the way, guys, I don't want to share with you guys. I think some of you are asking about some stocks like, just now I covered like Yangzijiang Financial Holding, and even some of the stocks like Seatrium, where we covered a couple of months back, before it started to move up as well. Those are some of the stocks that we actually shared with our clients in Phillip Securities, VIP clients in Phillip Securities. So I think some of you might be clients of mine in Phillip Securities. Just do me a favor, guys. Just type C for client. If you are actually a client of mine in Phillip Securities, you are actually getting our daily updates by WhatsApp and all that. Just type a C for client. If any of you are client over here, I think a lot of you are probably clients of mine in Phillip Securities. Thank you so much for the support. Let me just see how many of you are clients. All right, let's see. Right, we have Idris client. Thank you so much. Ahyok, C Chi Sing, obvious. Yeah, thank you so much, Chi Sing. Right, Bunny, C Victor. Right, so a lot of you are clients of mine in Phillip Securities. So those of you who are not yet a client of mine in Philip Securities. I mean, I'm not too sure where you are trading, but you probably need trading account, I mean, to buy and sell stocks, right? So hi Kumri, a client call for sure, right? For sure. Thanks Kumri, Chester, Steven. So a lot of clients over here, you can see, right? So if you're a client, as I say, all our clients here, some of them are joining us in this live show, but what happens is that we actually send them on a daily basis to our clients some of the top trade ideas by WhatsApp daily, right? For free, at no additional cost, right? So many of our clients, I mean, look at the comments, guys. We have a lot of clients over here. So those of you who are not typing C, all right, maybe you're not a client or something, I don't know, right? But if you're not typing C, you're not yet a client, check it out. I'll just place the link in the chat, right? Find out how you can come on board as a client of mine, like all of our clients over here, Carol, Chunming, Louis, VJ, Dave, Sam, all right, over here, so that you can also get some of top ideas daily, right, by WhatsApp for free, especially if you're not getting any service from your own broker. I mean, wherever you're trading, right, you just log in the platform and there's a mobile app or something, and then nobody contact you, nobody send you any ideas or video or WhatsApp or like hotline or something like that, then please, right, just click on the link, find out how you can become a client for free and no additional charge. You can get some of those ideas for free. Okay, Ken. So that is pretty much just want to share in case you guys are kind of like privately messaging me how to why you know how to get those ideas and stuff, right? So that is pretty much the thing I want to mention. Okay, so let me just pass on the mic. I covered Food Empire. Let me pass on the mic to Bervin, right, to cover the next Singapore stock. Okay, go ahead.
Thanks, Joey. Okay, so the next stock I actually want to cover would be this stock called IFAST. IFAST that recently also started to see a little bit of weakness. So down, I think LS is asking about IFAST. Lam is also asking about IFAST. How likely is it to rebound to the $9 level? Okay, so here we go. For IFAST, we actually saw, in the past year or so, prices had just been pretty much consolidating between the 650 level upwards towards the $8 level as well. We do not see much movement from the share from otherwise, and we also see that the longer term moving average alongside the 100 and 200 days moving average have just been pretty much moving sideways. Not much movement until very recently, somewhere in February, we had prices finally breaking above this $8 key level. But I think in the last 2 weeks or so, we actually saw prices actually sold down. So down from the 880 level, showing signs of weakness. Profit taking actually coming in. The sellers are not, buyers are not pretty much not in control. Sellers are in control for the past 2 weeks. Do not see any signs of strength or any buyers coming back in closer to this $8 psychological level at all. The prices just pretty much went through this level very, very quickly. And as of today, we are trading under this $8 level again and causing it to be a resistance once again. So not a good sign, not what we want to see. She want to see prices consolidate between a higher range, maybe perhaps between the 8 to the 880 level, maybe not the $9 level. But unfortunately, that's not the case. And we actually saw that, where could the next downside be? I think the prices could find a little bit of a temporary support closer to the 750 level, where previously buyers or selling actually came back in. Perhaps this could be a resistance turn support. Not too sure at this point, but at least this is where the 100 days moving average actually, is currently residing as well. But with the 20 days moving average now, still pointing up slightly. We do not want to see 20 days moving average start to, point down, head towards the 750 level. That will show some further signs of weakness. Make sense? Okay, so that's what we do not want to see. So then let me just quickly turn on the trailing support and resistance line. So you see right here, I think as of yesterday, we were still barely closing above the trailing support. So as of this morning, prices actually, opened lower than the trailing support already and started to head down as well. So not a sign that strength will continue unless within, today we are about to be lunch break already, but maybe after lunch, if we're able to see buyers come back in to push prices back up above the trailing support, that would be a sign that some buying could or some bargain hunting is actually taking place as well. So if we were to just turn on the buy and sell signals, obviously that we would see there is a 1GT bearish signal that had appeared today. Whether this signal will last or not too sure, because right now this is live. So if prices head back above the trailing support, or head back higher, closing above the $8 level, perhaps maybe this 1GT bearish signal could disappear, and then this $8 support could continue to hold. Otherwise, you could see that a trailing resistance could form that heads downwards, giving the stock some breathing space, but still heading downwards. Not a good sign as well. So I think for IFAST, whether likelihood for it to rebound back to the $9 level, I think we have to firstly see if the $8 level is be able to be retaken first before we discuss anything about a higher target as well. So of course, if the 750 level does not hold, I think the downside could be back towards that 650 level, representing quite a little bit of a downside as well. So we want to be a bit more cautious. We want to see a bit of buying come back in before we make any moves. Okay, that's a very quick one for IFAST. Maybe I'll pass the time now to Z to bring you through the next stock.
All right, thanks, Bhavin. Okay, so I saw Sebastian actually have this question. Hi, I'm invested in Valuetronics. May I know your analysis on it? Okay, so maybe let me share my screen. Let's just go through Valuetronics. But by the way, guys, I think we have about 245 people here, right? I just wanted to check with you guys because today, right now, like Joey, Bhavin, and myself, we are actually going through the stocks, but we are going through much slower than the previous session, right? So as of now, we have covered about 9 stocks. If plus Valuetronics, it will be about 9 stocks. So just wanted to get your opinion. Would you rather us going through more stocks quickly, then you just type F, or you rather want us to go through like this, like slower but more in-depth slightly, then you type S. So slower for S, F for faster. So at least we know, we can actually cater to what you guys want. You want us to cover more stocks faster, or more stocks faster, or slower stocks, lesser stocks slower? So S or F.
Slow, type S for slow, and F for fast, right? Let us know, guys. I think that's a very good question, the great one. So do you want us to go fast? Just touch and go, and then we just talk a little bit, move on. So we cover a lot of stocks, but every stock just give you a little bit of an idea. But you want this speed slow, but a bit more in depth, but also we cannot cover so many lah. No time lah. Right?
Yeah, definitely lesser. But we can cover slightly more in depth, talk about a stock a bit longer. So S for slow, F for fast. So at least we can have a gauge lah. We can have a gauge. How should we cover each of the stock moving forward? Let's see.
Seems like we have a couple of S and more S. I would say more slow. A couple of fast, like Baksum F, Chester F, but more slow than fast. I would say maybe more slow than fast. What do you guys think?
More slow.
I think this pace is okay, right?
I think it's very mixed. Yeah.
Maybe a mixture of a total some 50. Leong, you're saying total 15,000, 5 deep, 10 quick. How we know which one deep, which one quick, man?
Okay. I think got mixture lah. Got S and F lah. So I guess what we are doing is okay lah, huh? Right. Okay. So we will just carry on.
Those who type S, maybe we have covered their stocks lah. Those who type F, maybe we haven't. Sorry guys, maybe we haven't covered your stock. Forgive us. All right. We will try to cover those who type F, right? We will try to cover your stocks. Maybe we haven't covered, so you want it to be faster, then we can cover yours, right? Okay, we will do our best. Okay, maybe just a little bit faster, but also we will not cut on the depth as well lah. Okay.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay, let's go. Okay, so this one will be by Sebastian, and I'll be covering Valuetronics. Okay, so for Valuetronics, right, if you look at the trend, from 2024 onwards all the way to where we are at now, if you just purely look at the moving averages, all 3 moving averages looking great, right? Longer term moving average, red line here, blue line here, heading up. So that's good, right? Short term, I mean, of course, we got up and down a bit. There are some selling along the way, and then now it is actually pointing up. So all 3 moving averages, longer term, shorter term, all heading up in the same direction. Great, right? So the thing is that we can actually spot this level right here that we should all take note of, especially Sebastian, if you are invested in Valuetronics. This level right here, which is the 64 cents. Why? Because this 64 cents, right, previously was actually a resistance level, right? You can see that it actually tested it multiple times. Always when the candle actually near you, right, unable to break above it until eventually right over here, where we also got a 1GT bullish signal as well. Prices eventually broke above this 64 cents. And this 64 cents now is actually a support level to actually take note, right? So I would say this 64 cents, maybe that's where you want to consider to set some price alert as well. You know, for those of you who are looking at Valuetronics, thinking about when to actually enter, right? You want to enter near a support level. So I would say for those who are thinking to enter, don't rush in yet. Perhaps this is where, you know, somewhere near the support level, it's where you can actually consider to position yourself for entry as well. Okay. And for Sebastian, right? Because right now, you know, we actually see a 1GT bullish signal coming out here. But previously, also already have a 1GT bullish signal right here, right? And currently, there's still no exits yet. There's still no exits yet. So, and the trend, the moving averages, right, in terms of the trend, is actually still heading up. So I would say you don't have to rush to sell, right? You don't have to rush to sell. You can continue to monitor first, especially this level in terms of the resistance, which is near this 70 cents and 70 cents, 71 cents, like this level, right? This is where you can consider to actually, you know, take some partial profits as well. If you have already bought, you know, somewhere long before, right, and you already bought and you probably already sitting on some profits, right? So I would say near these 70 cents, that's where you can consider to take some partial profits, put the money in your pocket first, you know, go and drink some coffee with the pocket money, right? So, and if prices can actually break and hold above these 70 cents, where can we potentially see price heading towards? That's where we can actually do this again. So that's what we do. And we can actually project this upwards, right? And this is towards this 76 cents right over here, right? This would be the potential next target that we will be looking at if prices can actually rebound and go back and break above these 70 cents, right? And head higher towards this 76. Okay, so as of now, Sebastian, like what I mentioned, there's still no 1GT bearish signal yet. The trend moving averages are still looking great. And for those who are looking to enter, do not rush in. Maybe can monitor some of the support level, especially at the 64 cents. All right, so that would be for Valuetronics. I will pass the time back to Joey for the next talk.
All right, thank you so much, Z. Quick one. Let me move on to the next one, and I think that would be Singtel. I think Styler, you're asking about Singtel, right? I think you got stuck at 330 plus. What's the trend? Can it break the 450? I think 450 is a bit higher. Where is 450? 450 is still a bit high. Now the price is about $3.41, right? So if you look back, we are pretty much seeing some pretty good move, right? Let me just go to see what has happened over the past over a year, right? You can see that somewhere in May last year, right? Not too bad, right? We actually had a good bullish 1GT signal. As I say, right? This signal, you can just turn it on for my 1GT Pro indicator, right? We've got a bullish signal. Another bullish signal started going up a bit faster, all right? I think from here to here, there's a bearish signal came out 31%, all right, in about 5 months, right? And then a bearish signal came out. So when we see a bearish signal, well, it could mean two things, right? There is some weakness coming back, a bit of a retracement, or it could mean there's just some selling pressure. We are pretty much moving sideways a little bit, not really that strong as before, all right? But look at this again, all right? It was like a bearish signal, and then for like 2-3 months, you're just moving sideways, a bit boring. I mean, look at the green 20 days moving average line, right? It was like up and flat a bit, then up, and then it started pointing down. The bearish signal came out, and then it was flat. And we got a new, let me just show you right now, right? So we got a new bullish signal actually coming out right over here. And when was that? That was in, to be exact, 28th of January, right? 28th of January, more than a month back, right? A bullish signal came out. And if you look at the green 20 days moving average line, it has also started to point up, right? So it was from flat, it started to point up. Is the green 20 days moving average line pointing up right now? Yes, all right. I think it's still pointing up. You can see, right? Obviously, the short-term trend is up. The longer-term trend, the red and blue, that one is quite easy to see. Like it's been up since like last year. All right. So the short-term trend has turned from sideways until January to up right now. All right. So I think it looks pretty good. Looks pretty good, right? This bullish signal is still in play. All right. And if I can quickly draw for you, maybe some resistance, some horizontal resistance, whereby some selling pressure is actually coming back over the past 1 month, right? Where would that level be? Well, maybe I can show you right over here. I think somewhere around that 343, or if you want, we can just round it up a little bit to 343 to 345. I mean, look at this right over here. I think 343, 345. A little bit of a selling. Some bearish candles came out. We are just hovering. Now it's what? 341. Yeah, still below the 343 to 345. I think that would be kind of a bit of a resistance level. We might be just consolidating a little bit, right? And if I could just turn on quickly the trailing support line. Look at this, right? A trailing support line pops up. You can see, right? With this bullish signal, now we have a trailing support. That is kind of like up, flat, right? It hasn't really go up yet, so nothing to follow, right? But if it goes up, let's pretend that it breaks the 345 resistance level right over here. Well, that would be a good thing. That is where potentially I think the upside could be to a higher level. Which level? What is target? Well, we could actually do a little bit of a projection. So based on here, 320, the range is quite clear, right? 320 to maybe 345 like that, right? We could kind of like do a bit of a projection. Well, maybe, just maybe all the way to about the $3.70, right? If, I'm not saying it'll go there, right? I'm saying if it breaks the 345, yes, there's potential upside. Could be from here all the way to here. And I can tell you that's where we may even have a new bullish signal coming out. Of course, this original will continue to play out. A new bullish signal come out. We may see even more upside momentum. So this Singtel, I think not too bad. Styler, you're asking about it, right? So yeah, I don't know when it will break the 345, but if it does, I think that's where we are poised for even more upside momentum can increase as we attempt to push even higher. All right, so that would be for Singtel. Let me pass on the mic to Bobby to cover the next one. Let's go.
Thanks, Joey. I think the next one I want to cover would be one of the local banks. I think just now someone was asking about DBS. Just let me look for it. Okay, let me throw my screen up. Okay, so right here we have DBS. I mean, one of the three local banks. I think everybody is very familiar with these banks. Okay, so of course we had seen a very good run up since last year for DBS, and right now we are at a so-called very close to the all-time high of close to $47, where sellers actually came back in very recently, but we still have the longer term moving average, still showing strength. That's what we like to see as well. We do not want to see, the prices actually or the moving average starting to slope down. And of course, right now we have a little bit of a consolidation phase previously, somewhere between the 43 and the 46, 45, 80, 46 level, where actually prices had consolidated for a little while before it finally broke above. So now I think many people are actually asking, is it too high to buy? Is it, will prices start to sell down? People start to take profit. I think we have seen a little bit of profit taking come in, but not too much, as we are continuing to hold above the 45.80 level. And we have the dividends, the special dividends, or the dividends that are actually coming up soon in somewhere in April, which will be the exit. Of course, on the dividend exit, we tend to see prices fall based on the dividend prices. So would that be a good time to buy? I think it's still too early to say, because we still got a little bit of time till then. But what we want to actually take note right now is whether are we close to the support level for you to accumulate some shares. I believe that is what you are actually thinking of. So it looks like we have rebounded a few times from the support zone, but we are still kept within a range. So perhaps if you want to accumulate for DBS, you may want to set up some alerts within this buy zone right here as well. Yeah. So if the prices are able to break above the $47 level, where would the next upside be? Let's do a simple projection right here. I think the immediate or the next target level should be drawn up to about the $49 level first. $49 level first, sorry. Yeah. So I think we should perhaps expect a little bit of consolidation happening, just like what had happened previously before prices hit higher. I think that is a sign that the uptrend is healthy. You do not want to see prices just go higher and higher, not consolidating much. You want to see something like a step up, consolidate a bit, step up, consolidate a bit, step up. I think that is a sign that there are buyers that could come back in to protect those key levels, especially if prices start to fall. All right, so I think if we were to just turn on this, let me just turn on this buy and sell signals first. We have a 1GT signal that had appeared sometime in February. This 1 GT signal is still valid at this point. And I think if prices are able to break above the 47 level, we could get another 1 GT bullish signal that could come in, signaling more upside for this counter. So, but for those who are actually holding onto DBS, you may want to just use the trailing support to actually protect some of your profits. If prices fall below the 47 level, fall below the trailing support level, that's when you maybe want to reduce some exposure, take some money off the table, take some profits, put in your pocket first, and then maybe come in again to accumulate when prices fall lower, closer to the next support. This is if the trailing support is broken. All right, that is for DBS very quickly. Okay, Z, can you bring us through the next stock?
Okay, sure. Thanks, Bervin. Okay, so the next stock, I think I will follow Bervin, since we're actually doing banks, right? Then I think some of you guys are actually asking about other banks as well. So I will be covering this bank called OCBC. Because I think very recently there's somebody that asked likelihood of pushing higher. I think Lam was actually asking about this. Okay, so let's do OCBC very quickly. So for OCBC, of course, same like DBS, right? All the banks are actually heading upwards, right? In terms of the longer term trend, right? Because we look at the moving averages, the red and the blue line definitely still heading up. As of now, both of them are still pointing up. But what's the difference between this and DBS, right? Maybe we can take a closer look at what has been happening over the past few months, right? In terms of the price action. Okay, so for OCBC, the very first 1 GT bullish signal that we saw actually came out on this day, which is 7th of November last year, right? And why this signal actually came out is because if we turn on the trailing support, we can see that price actually broke and closed above this trailing resistance, right over here. Okay, and then subsequently there is another 1 GT bullish signal that actually came out over here. And as of now, I mean, right now there is still no 1 GT bearish signal yet. There's still no exit signals yet, right? But if we look at the shorter term trend, let me just turn this off so that it's a bit clearer. If we look at the shorter term trend, let me just zoom in like this. The 20 days moving average, right, is actually kind of like flattening out and pointing sideways, right? But I mean, of course, longer term trend rate and the blue still looks good. Longer term trend looks good. But shorter term trend, it might seem that it's starting to lose a bit of momentum because it is kind of like going sideways for now. It's kind of going sideways for now. And if we just take a look at the price action over the past 2 weeks, right, we can see that all these candlesticks right over here is kind of like just kind of like going sideways, and there could also potentially be some temporary support at this $17, around this $17 to 17.10 area right at this support. And if I were to turn back on the trailing support and we take a look, you see right over here, price is really at this trailing support area, right? Price is really at this area. So remember what Joey always mentioned, right? We want to buy only when the uptrend is intact, and we want to buy near a support, right? So I would say, if let's say you guys are thinking of some of you guys, right, who are actually thinking of accumulating some positions for OCBC, I would say this area could be a potential area to actually accumulate some position. But for those of you who are slightly more risk adverse, right, you might want to wait a bit longer at this potential area. Let me just draw for you guys. You'll be around this area, which is the other support level that we want to take note of at this 1650, because this is also where the 200 days moving average is at, and it was also previously a resistance level, right, which now turned to become a support. So I would say these two areas would be potential area that you can potentially position yourself for entry if you're looking to actually accumulate for DBS, especially the longer term trend still looks good, right? It's just that right now, shorter term trend, that it seems like that is losing some momentum in terms of shorter term trend wise. But resistance definitely still remains at this $18 level, because this is where we saw sellers coming back in, pushing price back down. Okay, so that would be a very quick one for OCBC. Then I'll pass the time back to Joey for the next Singapore stock.
All right, thank you so much, Z. So I think you all have covered like DBS and OCBC. Why not I just do UOB right now? Or just to close it, I think Joseph, you're asking about UOB as well. And then we have Madam Fu, all right, DBS, OCBC, and UOB, right? Sorry. So let's just do UOB, all right? Okay, so this is UOB right now. And Okay, you can see that we have some bullish signals right here, and a couple of in November, right, 2 bullish signals started to push up. We got another bullish signal, and it seems like we have pushed higher. Now UOB is trading at 38.68. So if you ask me, I think we have covered this bank stocks cup. I think like 2 weeks back in our Ask Me Any Stock session, right? So longer term trend is up. I think like same like what Bervin and Z has mentioned for DBS and also OCBC. The banks have been doing pretty well, right? The longer term trend is up, right? I think since I would say June, July last year, we started to see some momentum, and they really started to push higher and higher while consolidating along the way, right? And for UOB, if I can quickly draw this horizontal support level right over here, right? I think that would be a horizontal support. So bullish signals coming out, obviously there's no bearish signal. All right, what I mean by bearish signal? Well, a bearish signal will be something like this. We got a bearish signal, pump, it starts going down. A bearish signal, it starts moving sideways or down a little bit, right? So as of now, are there any bearish signal? No, right? So I think it still looks okay. It still looks okay. It seems like we're still trying to push higher, all right? And support-wise, if you can draw this support here, I think that would be the $38, 38.00. All right, you can see that was originally the resistance level right over here, right? Came down. I mean, we're just below it until we finally went above it on the 17th of Feb, all right, about 2 weeks back. And you can see we are still above this new support level. So the resistance has turned into what we call a new support level. And if you ask me, right, the 20 days moving average line, that was like going up and up. We got the bullish signal right here. You can see, right, the green line was flat. 2 bullish signals came out. The green line started to point up. So this green line, the 20 days moving average line, that represents or give an idea of the short-term trend of any stock, any counter, right? It is separate from the bullish signal. It doesn't mean because the green line point up and then the bullish signal comes out. No, all right, that is another confirmation. All right, and you can see the green line points up, flattened out. Another bullish signal came out. It started to slope upwards a little bit right now. Is it still sloping up? Yes, I would say it is still sloping up. So the short-term trend is still up for now. And if I can quickly turn on this trailing support line, right? Just to give you an idea of how much space do we have. Look at this, right? So as I say, right? Since like November, we got the bullish signal coming out. A trailing support pops up. And of course, with UOB moving higher, it follows it as it moves higher, right? Follow, flat, up, flat, up, flat. It goes higher, it go follow some more, right? So I think in the past few days, it follow up a bit more. So I think the trailing support maybe around that 37.30, 37.50, all right? That is where we are given some space, but not even, this trailing support. In fact, this horizontal support, that is slightly higher because the horizontal support does not give space, right? It's just a level whereby, we rebounded a couple of times, we're still holding above it, right? So even the 38 seems to be holding, all right, we don't even need to go to near the trailing support, and I think that's where some bargain hunting is coming back. Resistance-wise, I can show you right over here, I think quite clearly, it is around the $39. I think the price is like 38.68. So yeah, it's a $1 range, like quite simple, right? 38 to 39, right? Just going up and down here. I think, that is pretty much the range. We might just be moving sideways a while. I'm looking for that move above 39. If it goes to like 39.05, 39.10, 39 above, I think that is where it might be good, right? We may even have another bullish signal, and it's where more upside momentum can come back. All right, so that is for UOB. All right, I hope that you guys have a better idea. All right, let me pass on the mic to Bervin.
Thanks, Joey. Okay, so I think Ray was asking about UMS, so I will just cover UMS first. Okay, so let me throw this up on the screen first. Okay, so here we have UMS. I mean, this stock has been pretty much in a downtrend previously since somewhere in May 2024. Actually saw prices sold very aggressively down. Then the 100 and 200 days moving average also crossed each other. Then we have the 200 days moving average above the 100, above the 20 days moving average. And I guess in pretty much since August of last year and up to recently, it has been, I would say, a little bit boring, a little bit sideways, not too much action going on. Okay, just been trading between the 95 cents up to 110, trade back down. Then as of 3 days ago, somewhere earlier this week, we finally see that the prices have broken above this key 110 level that has been pretty much kept under.
Sorry, Bervin. I think it's blank screen as of now. I think maybe you need
blank
to share
screen.
Yeah, maybe you need to share again, I think.
Reshare. Let me try try again.
Oh, let's try again. All right, sorry guys. I mean, sometimes such thing happen, but let's try to share again.
Do we have it now?
Let us know, guys, if it's working.
It seems like it is okay on my end.
Okay, let me just check my mobile. All right, I mean,
Yep.
Yeah, I can see on my phone now.
Okay, should be okay already, right?
I think it should be okay. I think Lance is saying yes.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Yes. Chileong still black screen. So long yes. Type Y for yes, guys.
Why,
If the
yes.
screen is
Okay.
working.
Okay. Ken, thank you. Thank you. Sorry for the trouble today. A little bit of inconvenience. Okay, so just let me get back to this. I think the what I mentioned just now, longer term trend was previously not too good. In the last 4 months, 4 to 5 months, pretty boring. Nothing much going on for UMS until very, very recently, sometime this week, finally broke above the 110 level. And we also have the 20 days moving average starting to point up, haven't crossed the 200 days moving average yet, but it's a sign that if we are able to hold above this 110 level, 110 key level 110, perhaps the 20 days moving average, I would say, would start to point up a little bit more, a very, very initial sign of a reversal. So I think this would form a new support. I would say I would call this 110 a new support as of now. Whether it's able to hold, I'm not too sure at this point. Maybe if we see selling come in, then it will not play out as what we want as well. So if we were to just quickly just turn on my trailing support right here, we can see that prices had broken above a trailing support, very slight trailing support 3 days ago. So that is a good sign. So we will also see a 1GT bullish signal that had actually came in already. So how will this signal play out? I think not too sure just yet, but with the nearest support or nearest resistance right around, I would say the 125 level, that is where potentially you could draw your upside to, or that's where I would draw the upside to. So that is still a very long way to go. So however, if you're looking to rush in to buy Ray, I think maybe not just yet. Give it a few days. Let's see if these prices are able to hold above this 110 level. Because as you can see previously, prices when they consolidate, they could consolidate for a longer period of time. So I do not see the need to immediately rush in to buy. But I think what you want to do, if you are holding especially this stock right now, set some alerts because prices are in a recent high. Set some alerts below the 110 level if you're holding, to alert yourself that prices has actually reversed back down. That's when you maybe want to reduce a little bit of exposure for this counter already. You do not want to go back into a phase where where prices start to consolidate again and perhaps even break down the 95 cents level. All right, okay. That is for UMS Ray. Hopefully it makes sense for you and you know the direction going forward. Z, can you bring us through the next stock?
Okay, thanks, Bavin. Let me share my screen. Okay, so I think Shansong is asking about Hong Leong Asia, right? Hong Leong Asia. And Shansong say bought at $1 before earning, then broke support and cut loss at 0.945. Then I didn't get in after, and now it's at 110. So is it still worth considering? Okay, so let's take a look at Hong Leong Asia, okay? So Hong Leong Asia, I mean, if we look back 2023, 2024, really very boring. We see the price is kind of like just moving sideways. All the moving averages is also just going sideways. And the action really started only somewhere in July 2024. And this is where we start to see the moving averages lines more clearly. Previously was all jumbled up together, right? Now we see it more clearly and it's pointing up, right? And all heading in the same direction. And of course, we also do get multiple 1GT bullish signals as well throughout. And very recently, the most recent, I think just 2 days, yesterday, was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday, 6th of March, we actually had a 1GT bullish signal as well. I mean, of course, now price is at $1.09, and now it's lunch break, so there's a pause in the market, right? So, if we just look at the trend, first thing first, we look at the trend. Red and the blue line both are pointing up. Great, right? And okay, let me just turn off the signal first because I think it's blocking the 20 days moving average. Okay, if we look at the 20 days moving average, 20 days here is also pointing up, right? So that's actually also a good sign because 20 days, 100 days, 200 days, all heading in the same direction. Okay, so let me just turn back on the buy and sell signal. Okay, so and in terms of after we identify the trend, right, we want to take a look at where are the support and resistance, right? So those low-lying fruits, which one clearly can you see and you can actually draw, right? So right over here, I would say the immediate support level, right, that we can see right over here will be at this 90 cents level, right? Because previously it was actually a resistance, right? It was a resistance, break above it, right over here. Sellers came back in, tested this level, holding above it, right? So this 90 cents level has been tested multiple times. So I would say this 90 cents level is, I would say now it's currently the support level that maybe you should take note of, right? You know, prices went all the way up to this $1.05. We saw a 1 GT bearish signal coming out. And I believe this day was actually probably due to earnings and then market actually absorbed the earnings result. Sellers came back in to push price back down, but it still managed to hold above this 90 cents, right? Before price quickly rebounded back up and now it's holding above this $1.05. So, Shansong, to answer your question, is it still worth considering? I would say yes. It's still worth considering because now this $1.05, right, has actually turned from a resistance to a support. But of course, I want to actually monitor. The thing that I want to monitor is to make sure that this $1.05, right, this new resistance turn support, right, is actually able to hold. If it's not able to hold, then definitely we will actually see more weakness coming back and perhaps to retest this 90 cents level lah. But as of now, price is actually holding above this $1.05, which is a good sign. So what I want to monitor is price to be able to hold above this $1.05 first. And if you are thinking of re-entering, right, perhaps you can actually consider to enter near the support level. But of course, this I would say would be a more aggressive entry, right? Because yesterday prices just broke above, right? And we got a 1 GT bullish signal. But of course, the next few days, selling pressure could come back and retest this $1.05. So if this level does not hold, definitely you will want to have a stop loss plan in place as well, part of your trading plan to minimize your losses. All right, to minimize your losses, which is what you did previously, right? You enter before and then after that it cut loss at 0.945, right? Because I believe that the price actually broke below and we have a 1 GT bearish signal. So that's fine. You follow your trading plan, that's great, right? So now the thing is that for this, for myself, right, if let's say you to ask me where I would think of considering to enter, maybe I would set some price alert here at this $1.05 first to see for the next couple of weeks, right, if price is actually able to actually hold above this $1.05. Okay. So that would be for Hong Leong Asia. And I will pass the time back to Joey for the next Singapore stock.
All right, thank you so much. Maybe let me go ahead to share with you guys the next stock, right? But I think we have some questions, right? We have some questions, and we'll just go through one more round, guys. As I say, right, at the end, right, all of us, me, Bervin, and Z, we will each share with you guys one stock that we like that you might want to put in your watch list. So I think some of you are asking about the stocks. Actually, what you're asking is actually one of the bonus stock I want to share. So maybe I'll keep it to the end and I'll share with you guys. All right, later you'll know what is our bonus stock that you want to put in your watch list for potentially more upside. But we have some questions, right? I think JH, you're asking, right, for a strong moving stock, bullish signal was out long back, right? No more signal appeared after that. Do you recommend we buy such? Right? How then can we enter such stock? Well, that's a very good question. Like, for example, like we talked about, like just now, I covered this stock called I think like a UOB, right? We had the bullish signal coming out like 3-4 months back. It started to push up, right? So it might seem like it's gone up already, right? So then do we want to get in? Well, I would say we look at a few things, right? A few confirmations, right? In terms of the one good trend strategy. Is it near the trailing support? How is the short-term trend looking? Are there some things like candlestick? Are there some volume looking good as well? These are certain things that we want to look at as well. So there are a few confirmations that we want to seek out, right? It's not just, you just get in because you got a bullish signal. Well, if we get all this confirmation, that will give us more confidence to take the trade again, even though that bullish signal have already came out a couple of months back, because it can still be good to ride. I mean, look at this, right? We have some bullish signals, 3 months, 4 months, it starts going up, and then you might think that's too high, but another 10 more months, it continues going up. All right, so it can still be a good entry as long as there's no bearish signal. All right, so as I say, JH, or maybe all of you over here, if you want to find out a little bit more, all right, okay, maybe JH, to answer your question, right, I have this example right over here from Hoppa. I think let's see, right? Let's see Hoppa. One of you is asking about Hoppa, right? Let's see who's asking about Hoppa. We have let me see. We have Hoppa, right? Yeah, David. I think David, you're asking about Hoppa, right? So I'll just cover Hoppa and maybe try to answer JH question as well. But before that, guys, very simple. If you want to find out a bit more on the entire one good trend strategy, right? I'll just place the link in the chat because I think the link is probably hidden somewhere at the top already, right? Just place the link in the chat again, right? Attend one of those free web class, right? The link is in the chat. What you need to do if you want to get access to like an indicator. So all this while you can see me, Bervin and Z, we explain to you a little bit on the one good trend strategy. We show you the one good trend indicator whereby with a click of a button in seconds, look at this right here, pump off, pump on it back, right? And it comes up with bullish signals. It gives you a quick opinion on what to do, whether to buy or sell, right? I mean, based on the bullish on and bearish signals. So you're going to have that as well, right? Check it out, attend one of those free webinars. The link is right in the chat. Click on it. You will come to this page right over here. All right, attention aspiring traders and investors who want to dominate the stock market in 2025, right? That is it. This is the page. Go ahead to enter your name, email, and phone number. This will be the 3 secrets that we shared, right? Why trend trading is a strategy, and you want to focus on the 2 techniques that we employ, right, for entry and exit. Of course, how do we actually scan the market, right, for the top 1% of stocks? I mean, now what happens is, guys, is that we are covering the stocks that you guys are asking about, right? Are these the top 1% of stocks? I don't know, right? It might be, it might not be, all right? It might be the last 10% of stocks as well, right? So these are the stocks that you guys are asking about. But the question is that how do we, let's say you have no idea what are the name of stocks to type, right? You have no idea what is this stock called DBS. You're totally brand new, right? Then how then do we actually know what are the top 1% of stocks, right? To filter them out first before we even think about getting in and out of them. Does it make sense? That's exactly what we shared as well. So attend one of those free webinars. The link is in the chat. All right. And that is pretty much the page, right? So let me move on right now very quickly to this next stock. All right, I'll just go on one more stock, right? Hopper, then Bervin and Z. Then we'll go on to share with you our bonus stock already, right? So this is Hopper, right? Hopper right over here. I've not really take a look at this stock, but I think not too bad. I think David, you're asking about this stock called Hopper, right? I think not too bad. You can see that it has already, pretty strong bullish signals coming out like since August last year. Look at this, right? 100 days moving average, the red line, and the blue line, the longer term trend is up. So we got some bullish signals, right? Look at this, right? Pretty good, pretty good. Look at this, right? All the way up until we got a bearish signal about 11% in about 3 months. And I think not too bad. Look at this, right? We've got not 1, not 2, but 3 bullish signals coming out. That was in January, 23rd January. All right, the first bullish signal came out and pump, and it starts moving higher after. Look at this, right? Look at this, right? So this is how, I mean, David, if you have this indicator, all right, that is where I think you probably riding on some gains, right? So I'm not too sure exactly where you bought it, but you asked what could be the next resistance. Well, if I could draw this resistance level for you, I think quite clearly it would be around the $13. Look at this. I mean, over the past 2 weeks, we saw a bit of a selling, a long upper shadow. Same thing 2 days back. Upper shadow, it means pushes up, sellers came back and push it back down. It just means that this $13 is a bit of a resistance, right? It's a bit hard to cross. Doesn't mean hard means cannot, right? It's just a bit hard for now, all right? But if we were to break above the $13, well, I think potentially more upside can happen. These 3 bullish signals can continue to play out, all right? And look at the green 20 days moving average line, right? We got a bearish signal right here. The green 20 days moving average line actually started to, from up, it started to flatten out, right? But when we got these 3 new bullish, look at the green line, it started to point up. Is it still pointing up? Yeah, still pointing up, all right? Short-term trend up, longer-term trend is up. And if I can quickly turn on the trailing support line to see if there's space given to it to hopefully move higher. Let's take a look at it, right? Not too bad. As you can see, right? 3 bullish signals. There is still some space. There's still some space. In fact, look at the trailing support line. Trailing support is maybe around the $12.30, right? So there's a bit of space, as I say, right? Because it's going up pretty fast. So there's some breathing space for it to hopefully go up higher. As I say, if it breaks the $13, well, this green trailing support will follow it to move even higher, all right? And you can see this trailing support, right, also coincides with where the 20 days moving average line is. Look at this right over here. So I think this 1230 seems to be a very good support, a trailing support that accounts for the space, but I'm not too sure whether it will even go to 1230. It seems like over the past 2 weeks, well, maybe $12.60, all right, would be a horizontal support already that buyers are starting to come back out, all right? So this trailing support accounts for the space, right? This horizontal support is just pretty much the lows that it has touched and rebounded from, right? So that does not account for the space. So I think right now you can see 1260 seems like some buying pressure have come back, all right? So I think that would be the range, 1260 to $13, either $13 to the giveaway, not too bad. I think we may even have another bullish signal and we could see even more upside momentum. All right, so that is for Hopper. So Bervin, maybe you can cover the next Singapore stock. Go ahead.
Thanks, Joey. Okay, throw up my screen first. Hopefully everybody can see my screen. I think it should be fine. I'm seeing it on my end. Okay, so so the next stock I want to cover, I think Song Ho was asking about city development. I think quite a bit of hoo-ha. I think last week about city development went into trading halt. Nothing much. Prices are back to where it is, or there is pretty much not much changes in city development at all. The downtrend, I think since 2023, even pre-2023, is still pretty much intact. Prices actually sold down, going lower and lower and lower. And right now, just off this trailing support, right now we have not one, not two, not three, not four, but five 1 GT bearish signals that are still present at this point. So of course, if that's the case, if you're looking to buy, I think this is a very, very clear sign that you want to think twice if you're looking to buy as well. With the 20 days, with the 100 days and 200 days moving average still pointing down, also not a good sign. So still no signals to buy, or no confirmation to buy. The 20 days moving average is also pointing down, and we are also testing the $5 psychological support level. So still, I think thus far, nothing pushing me to actually look into it to buy into city development just yet. Weakness is still there, and I think if this $5 level is not able to hold, or it gives way, or it breaks down, I think the next downside, if we just do a simple projection, I think we have seen us do this multiple times, but you can do it also for like the other way around if a counter is in a downtrend. So if we just put this down here from the $5.30 resistance, we just project downwards, show us the downside towards maybe about the 465 level. Yeah, if the $5 level is not able to hold. So I think Song Ho, if you're looking to buy, I don't think you should be buying. I don't think you want to throw good money after bad if you're thinking to average down. Okay, so especially 5 bearish signals, longer term trend still pointing down, shorter term trend also pointing down, testing the $5 support level, not a good sign. There's no signs of any reversal play. So if let's just say, for example, if we are able to see like something like for UMS as well just now, if the 20 days moving average flattens out, start to point up, crosses above the 100 days moving average, hit back towards the 530 level, 535 level, and breaks it, I think yes, maybe there is some signs of a uptrend or reversal into an uptrend. But as of right now, I would say the downtrend is still pretty much firmly intact. You do not want to buy an counter that is in a downtrend. I don't think you want to be trapped as well, because I think the downside is pretty much still there at this point. So just a very very quick one for city development. I think Z, can you bring us through the last stock before we talk about the bonus stock for today?
Okay, sure. Thanks, Bervin. Okay, so let me just share my screen. All right. Okay, so I saw this question, right, by Blazing Ruby 60. I hope you are still here. Because I saw your questions and you're asking about iRead Global, thinking of buying more since I bought at high. I believe there's a typo, like you bought at high. So let's take a look at these, because this is one of the very common questions that we always also get from our clients and mentees as well, when they bought at a high, and then should they average down even more, right? So that's a very common question that we get. Okay, so let's take a look at this iRead Global and let's analyze the trend together. All right, so of course, if we take a look at this, obviously we can see that the trend is down, right? The trend is down. There has been lower highs being formed, then there is also lower lows being formed, and all the moving averages are all pointing down. I hope nobody tell me that the moving averages is pointing up. It's clearly all pointing down. Okay, and plus we actually also see multiple 1 GT bearish signals coming out, and this is where we are at. Okay, so price, I believe, it closed before lunch at about 25 cents. And there is very recently a 3-1 GT bullish signal coming out already. So I would say this stock is definitely quite bearish. Okay. And Blazing Ruby, you said that you bought at a high. So I will assume the high, let's see, high, either the high is at here or the high is at here, okay? But either way, if let's say the high is at here, you are already down, and if you are still holding on to it, you're already down by almost 52%. So 52%, you're down by 52%, right? Which means that you actually need 100%, right? To actually just to break even, means you need the stock to go back up 100% just to break even. So as of now, based on the trend itself, I mean, the reversal is not even there yet because all three moving averages are falling down. There's still no signs of reversal. And furthermore, you want it to go back up to 100%, I think it's a bit hard. It's a bit hard. Okay. So the question is, you want to think of buying more, right? Which means to average down, right? Definitely, we will not suggest you to do that, because it just means that you are throwing good money away. Okay. If let's say, imagine you bought at a high, you bought here, you think that the price is very low already, right? Okay, I bought here, I average down. Then after that, wow, price dip even lower. Then you buy here again. And then now price is actually here. So you actually buy more and more when it's actually going down. And we don't know how low the price can actually go, right? Especially if it keeps breaking a support level. It means that there's still weakness in the counter, right? And we don't want to be buying when the stock is actually trending downwards and the downtrend is intact. Because basically that just means that you're actually trying to catch a falling knife, right? You're just trying to catch a falling knife, okay? So right now, price is at 25 cents, right? And if you just take a look back, this is where the COVID actually happened, and this is where price plunged. And I believe this is actually one of the lowest in terms of the price. You see, the stock actually listed here, right? 2014, this was actually the low. And now 25 cents is actually really testing the low of this stock already back in 2020. So if prices were to break and unable to hold this 2020, then I would suggest you to actually think of a stop loss plan. But of course, if you could turn back time, I would already prefer you to have cut loss when prices, previously already broke, the support level right over here. And then you would have already kept your losses right there and then, right? You will have already kept your losses right there and then you don't have to keep on holding on to your losses and, hold to where we are at right now. Okay, so I would suggest you to, monitor closely at this 24 cents level. If price were to unable to hold, then definitely we will see more weakness back to this counter and back towards where, which is like what Bervin just now did earlier on, which is he did a projection, right? So projection don't have to project upwards only. We can also project downwards. So it broke the previous resistance, right? So I would say it's somewhere around this 215 to 220 level, right? But then $2, why I draw $2? Because $2 is actually a not $2, 20 cents is actually a psychological level. So definitely this 20 cents, if this 20 cents unable to hold, definitely we will see even more weakness, and the moving averages will continue to still point downwards. Okay, so Blazing Ruby, I hope that you don't continue to average down on this stock to throw good money away after good money. So do think about your stop loss plan, especially if price is unable to hold above this 0.24 cents. Okay, so that would be for iRead Global. I'll pass the time back to Joey, and he can actually cover our first bonus stock of today.
Yep. Thank you so much, Z. And maybe Z, I can just add on from what you have shared as well. You can just keep your screen there. So I think Blazing Ruby, what Z mentioned as well is something very important, all right? And that's exactly what I'll cover in the webinar, right? Whereby we want to focus on this thing called the mindset as well. So when we see, and there's nothing wrong. I mean, in fact, this as a broker, this is what we see many times from our clients. They mention that they want to buy, all right? Since I bought at a high, right? That means you want to buy because you bought at a high, all right, that's the reason why you want to buy, right? But that should not be a reason. We should never buy because we have bought higher, right? You want to buy because there are signs of the stock moving up. There are signs of a reversal. There are signs of a bullish signal coming out. That is the reason, not because I bought high. Like that, then every stock you buy at high, you just go and buy. Cannot be like that, right? Then if you go down some more, you buy some more. Go down some more, you buy some more. And then you tell yourself, it's okay because I bought at high, then go down some more, you buy some more. So you go down, you buy. I can tell you after a while, it's bye-bye. All right, we don't want to do that. We only want to think about buying when there are clear signs of a reversal. So I hope, Ruby, maybe you have not attended my webinar. So I think that's something very important. Before we even talk about anything about the strategy and all that, very important stuff, make sure you find out a bit and know the right mindset to actually employ in the stock market. All right. Okay. So let me go ahead to share my screen. And right now, guys, I'll be sharing with you guys the very first bonus stock, all right, the very first bonus stock for today before I pass on the mic to Bervin and Z. So this stock is none other than Centurion, right? Centurion. I think some of you have actually asked about it as well, like Chester, Centurion, is it still good to buy, right? Yes, I actually saw the comment, but I'll be covering this stock right at the end, so I thought why not just leave it to here, and I hope you're still here, Chester, but this is the bonus stock that I'd like to share with you. So you can see, right, Centurion since last year, right, February, March, April, we actually had a couple of bullish signals. And in fact, this is the stock. I think those of you who are my clients in Phillip Securities, you probably have got a few WhatsApp from me for this stock, right over here. It started to push up. Look at this, a bullish signal. I'll not go too far, but just from this second bullish signal, about a 51% in about 3 months. Another bullish signal right here in August. We shared about it all the way up. Well, another 44%, 43% in about 3 months. And we got a bearish signal. So after the bearish signal in December, all right, you can see that the green 20 days moving average line started to move sideways, right? Then up a little bit, but still flat, all right? Flat up a little bit, but not down, right? So you can see that we have not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 bullish signals coming out, right? So there's some bullish signals because I think it actually attempted to break what we call the 105 to kind of like a 110 resistance level, all right? So, at least the support was holding, but we have 4 bullish signals. And I would say that the most recent bullish signal actually came out yesterday. If I can draw this resistance level, let me just draw this very key resistance level for you. I think right over here. I think, yeah, whatever here. I would say that would be around the 105, $1.05 resistance. You're right here. In January, we came down. In fact, in February last month, we came down. But yesterday, I think we got another new bullish signal as we actually attempt to break the 105. Now it's what? 109. Now it's 1.09, which is good, right? Because we have broken the 105. We're still staying above the 105. In fact, I think 110 may be a little bit of a psychological resistance level, all right? Can we break the 110 today or tomorrow or next week? I don't know, all right? But my sense is this, right? My sense is that if we can break the 110, all right, and we go to 111 or 112 or 113 or 115, right? Well, that could be where we may start to see more upside. If I can go to do a little bit of a prediction right here based on the current consolidation phase. Look at this, right? This was where we were pretty much consolidating for like 3-4 months. Let me just push it up right over here. Well, I think $1.20 right over here, right? Based on what I've drawn, right? So pretty much I just draw it from here to here to do a little bit of a projection. So that's how you can kind of like, do a bit of a projection based on the current consolidation phase. You project it upwards all the way to here. You can see it's about the $1.20. And that's where maybe we might see some selling coming back, a bit of profit taking, which is normal, by the way, right? You can take some profit if you want that, all right? And that is pretty much the next upside target if we break the 110. So you can see right over here, I've actually set a few alerts like 111, 112. All right, so if it goes to 111, 112, 113, we may even take more positions, a bit more aggressive, but I think that's where more upside momentum can happen. Targets could be, push up all the way to 120, and that's where we can consider taking some profit as well. All right, so this is Centurion, right? A stock that we've liked, all right? One of the stocks that we actually shared with our VIP clients in Phillip Securities. So as I say, guys, if you want to get some of those ideas much faster by WhatsApp, right? I think yesterday we sent out a note as well on Centurion. If I'm not wrong, I got my team to send out. So I'll just place the link in the chat one more time, right? Not attend, right? But check out the link, click on it, and that's where you can find out how you can become a VIP client of mine in Phillip Securities for free. All right. It's essentially, if you're not getting any service, ideas, WhatsApp, training, nothing from your own broker, all right? It's just a platform for you to log in and log out and then just buy your own stock and then also don't know what stock you buy, all right? Check it out. The link is right there. Click on it. That's where you can come on board as a client of mine in Phillip Securities for free at no additional cost, all right? At no additional cost. You pretty much pay the same that you pay when you're trading anyway, right? No difference, same, but you do get some service and ideas like this much faster by WhatsApp daily. All right, so check it out. The link's right there for the very last time. All right, I know some of you might be just scrolling through Facebook and we might have covered your stocks as well on this YouTube live as well. So check it out, all right? And we look forward to share with you some of top ideas by WhatsApp. Okay, so that is the very first bonus stock. Like share with you, Centurion. Let me pass on the mic to Bervin to cover his top bonus stock for today.
Thanks, Joey. Okay, so Joey's stock was Centurion and mine will be Sembcorp Industry. I saw some of you were asking about Sembcorp Industry. Very good up move that we actually saw a resistance finally giving way, which is why I think this is my bonus stock for today. We have the prices. Let me just quickly just turn this off first. Okay, we have prices pretty much been kept under this $6 level since 2023 and finally this year, somewhere in February, late February, we finally saw a clear break above it, and the 100, 200 days moving average, including the 20 days moving average, have all started to point up already. So this is a good sign. Maybe we finally reached the next phase of this counter, finally not being kept under that $6 level for pretty much the past 1.5 years, and we have finally pushed past to form what we call a new support level, a new high support level as well. And prices have actually reached to about 650, close to the 650 level yesterday. But today prices have retraced a little bit, but still looking good because we are holding above that $6 level. So if I were to just quickly turn on the trailing support lines, as you can see right here, prices started to head higher, and right now there is quite a bit of a breathing space for the stock before this trailing support can be broken. So that is a good sign. The prices have headed higher, and we want to actually see where could the next upside be. Let's say if we just do a projection again, once more, from right here, about the 450 level, the key level from previously, we just have to get this up. Okay, and then just right about there, if the upside momentum continue, I think there is a very, very good upside for Sembcorp. Finally, we can see prices head towards that 750 resistance level, that new high, right there. So if I were just turn on this buy and sell signal right here, we got a 1 GT bullish signal right before prices actually break above that $6 key level. A good sign so far. But could we see a few more 1 GT signals appear? I think if the prices will be able to break above a temporary resistance of about this 650 level, perhaps maybe we can see another 1 GT signal, bullish signal that comes in, form a new base, and then prices could push even higher as well. So I think Sembcorp is one of those stocks that is in my watch list, and I think it deserves a good spot for a reversal or breakout trade as well if you are looking to get in. All right. Okay, so that's very quickly my bonus stock. Z, can you bring us through your bonus stock for this week?
Okay, sure. Thanks, Bervin. Okay, let me just share my screen. Okay, so for those of you who have attended the past AMAS SG stock live session, right, I think maybe you might have guessed what is my bonus stock already. It will be the same. It will still be ST Engineering because it is still a good stock. It's still trending up and it's definitely still in my watch list. Okay, and I saw some of your comments just now. You guys were asking about this ST Engineering, right? So such as like Michael, right, you're asking, ST Engineering move up quite a bit. It's a bit hard to chase. What's your thoughts? We will analyze it in just a bit. Okay. And then I think Alex is also asking, right, ST Engineering still bullish or cash in? And Styler also asking, he has been holding on for more than 10 years already and have started selling for profits. What's the outlook? So I believe if you have hold them for more than 10 years, you are sitting on a lot of profits because 10 years ago, the price definitely is not where it is now. It's much, much cheaper, right? And probably along the way, the 10 years, you have also collected dividends, right? Good dividends along the way as well. So let's take a look at ST Engineering now and see what are the potentials and what actually has been going on, okay? So, of course, the trend, right? I mean, I don't have to talk about the trend now. We just take a look at the moving averages. We can already tell that the trend definitely is still intact. Uptrend is definitely still intact, right? And also, I think price have actually started moving up, and there's a catalyst because of the earnings result that was actually released last week, right, on 27th of Feb. And that's when we actually saw price broke above this 520 resistance that we have mentioned previously, right? And it has gone up almost, you know, close to 18%. 18% in just about 5 days, right? In just about 1 week, right? So the thing is that right now, the chart that I'm seeing is exactly the chart that you are looking at. I cannot see anything more or less than you. It's exactly the same, right? The candlestick is also exactly the same. So I will not be able to predict the price, you know, things like that. I don't have a crystal ball as well. So what you're seeing is what am I seeing, okay? And we take a look at what has been happening over the past few days in terms of the candlestick, all right? So based on the past 4 days, we can actually see that perhaps there could be some temporary support right over here at this 580 level, right? This 580 level right over here, because on this day, which is 5th of March, we actually saw a red candlestick, right? But the red candlestick, I mean, it's still bullish, right? Even though it's red, because we actually have a long lower shadow. And this long lower shadow actually indicates that there's buying pressure returning. And where is it happening at? It's happening somewhere around this 580. But of course, we only have 4 candlesticks to actually analyze, right? Of course, I would like to see more of it over the next subsequent days and weeks to make sure that price definitely is able to hold above this 580 first. You know, at least find some sort of stabilization, because like what I've mentioned, over the past 7 days, price have risen up almost 18% already. So that's quite fast and quite a lot, right? So I want to see some stabilization happening, especially near this 580. So Michael, you were asking about, you know, it's a bit hard to chase. Definitely, I would not recommend anyone to go chasing the price, especially when it's high, and especially right now it's at 614, right? Don't just blindly because wow, price went up, just hurry go in without analyzing. So maybe some of you guys might want to consider this level right over here at 580 to see, you know, if selling pressure were to happen, right? And if prices were to pull back, are we able to hold above this 580? That's the key thing for now, right? Able to hold above the 580. And in terms of resistance wise, as of now, the best that I can draw would definitely be somewhere around here, which is what you can also see, right? Which is the high near this $6.30. This is where selling pressure come back because of this long upper shadow right over here, whereby profit taking actually returns. Sellers are queuing there to sell their stocks, right? And that's where we see this long upper shadow price push all the way back down, right? So this would be, I would say for now, this would be the resistance level that I'm looking at. So if some of you guys are actually thinking of taking some profits, right? Especially, you know, Styler, if you're already holding off for 10 years, right? I probably, I think that your profits is quite high lah. There's nothing wrong to actually take profits near a resistance zone, okay? So I repeat, there's nothing wrong to take profits near a resistance zone, especially maybe if you're thinking about the 630. But of course, if we are able, you know, we can actually spot some sort of consolidation happening over the next few weeks or so, then perhaps what we can do is, again, this projection up, right? And we can actually project upwards. But of course, right now, I don't know where exactly is the consolidation happening lah. But we can actually monitor to see, actually, will there be a consolidation? And if yes, we can actually do a simple projection up and look towards the next target. But as of now, what I can see is that 580, maybe this is a level that you want to set some price alert for those who are thinking to actually enter, to see if price were to actually pull back for you to actually enter near the support zone, or for those who are actually holding on to some position near the 630, right? That's where we can potentially take some profits as well. You know, not full profits, but maybe partial profits. And if price were to break this 630, and you know, if we have a consolidation phase, project it upwards, that's where we can ride the uptrend to a new higher target. All right. So that would be my analysis for ST Engineering. It's definitely still in my watch list. Still keeping a lookout for this stock. Yeah, so if you like it as well, you can just continue monitoring it. That's what I mentioned in terms of the levels. And that's it for ST Engineering. And I'll pass the time back to Joey to actually wrap up today's session.
All right, thank you so much, Z. I think that was a very wonderful call. All right, in fact, I think Styler has mentioned as well. Z mentioned again 2 weeks ago regarding ST Engineering. She is spot on as it is up over 20%. Well done, Z. I think that was a fantastic call. All right, we got a bullish signal, started to push up. All right, yeah. So guys, do join us in this Ask Me Any Stock live session. So I think we have pretty much come to the end of today's session. All right, so I think I think pretty much next week, next Friday, that's where we would have the next Ask Me Any Stock. So every Friday, weekly, 10:30 a.m. Mark your calendar. Make sure you're on my email list as well. As I say, attend one of those free webinars so that you come to my email list as well. And like our Facebook page, all right? Follow, subscribe to our YouTube channel as well so that you will be alerted when we go live as well. All right. So 10:30 a.m. next Friday. We just put the link in the chat again so that you can join us next Friday at 10:30 a.m. And for next Friday, it will be the US stock market, right? The US market, because pretty much today is Singapore. So next week will be the US market. All right. Okay, good. So I think that is pretty much it. So let us just go to play. Okay, let me just do a quick recap, guys. I think some of you are asking about the same stocks again. So I will do a very quick recap of all the stocks that we have covered so far. All right. So I think first of all, we covered what we call the STI. Then we covered Yang Zhejiang Financial Holding, Comfortdelgro, Leong OCBC Security Tech, Yang Zhejiang Shipbuilding, Seatrium, Keppel, Food Empire, IFAST, Valuetronics, Singtel, DBS, OCBC, and UOB. And we have UMS, all right, UMS. We have Hong Leong Asia, Hoppa, City Development, iRead Global, and finally the 3 bonus stock I shared on Centurion. All right, Centurion. And Bervin covered his bonus stock called Sembcorp Industry, and finally Z covered ST Engineering. All right, so these are pretty much the 3 bonus stock. I hope all of you got value. All right, just help us out, guys. Just type V for value. If you've got value, just want to acknowledge all of you for still being here right now, joining us in today's live call. Thank you so much, Dave. Thanks, VJ. So long, bravo. Thanks, bravo Z. Yeah, amazing. All right, do join us. All right, thanks, Joey. Awesome. All right, thanks, Bervin Z. Okay, thanks, Chester. Good to see you here. Hi, Chi Sing. Dave, value. All right. Hi. Thank you, guys. Wish you guys a good day ahead. Thanks, value. All right. So that's it, guys. We'll see you next Friday on our weekly AMA session. All right. Do join us in the webinar. Maybe we'll just place the link one more time, right? To join us in our free webinar to learn a bit more on the entire One Good Trend strategy. All right. And how perhaps you could have an indicator like what we have shared all this while in our analysis to help you to get in, to get out, especially when it's time to get out. All right. So I hope that helped as well. All right. So bye everyone. Have a good weekend. Take care. We'll see you soon. Bye. See you next Friday. Bye.